What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 final, who has played many a different faction over his time. We have over here in the blue, in the red, spicy matchup for E, regretting his aggressive placement. This game is on such a nice edge that overextends a little and defeats their screen. Right on down the board. One extra to shield and a 4 in the Miracle Bowl. Almost assuredly auto. I think if anybody can figure out their way out of this matchup, it will be him. It's going to make it very difficult for the Grey Knights to deal with. 6 just went through on the Dumping Knight. 6, 7 city was floating. 4, 10, 16 plus 5, 21 mortals? Holy shit! What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 final, who has played many a different faction over his time. We have over here in the blue, in the red, spicy matchup for E, regretting his aggressive placement. This game is on such a nice edge that overextends a little and defeats their screen. Right on down the board. One extra to shield and a 4 in the Miracle Bowl. Almost assuredly auto. I think if anybody can figure out their way out of this matchup, it will be him. It's going to make it very difficult for the Grey Knights to deal with. 6 just went through on the Dumping Knight. 6, 7 city was floating. 4, 10, 16 plus 5, 21 mortals? Holy shit! What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 final, who has played many a different faction over his time. We have over here in the blue, in the red, spicy matchup for E, regretting his aggressive placement. This game is on such a nice edge that overextends a little and defeats their screen. Right on down the board. One extra to shield and a 4 in the Miracle Bowl. Almost assuredly auto. I think if anybody can figure out their way out of this matchup, it will be him. It's going to make it very difficult for the Grey Knights to deal with. 6 just went through on the Dumping Knight. 6, 7 city was floating. 4, 10, 16 plus 5, 21 mortals? Holy shit! What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 final, who has played many a different faction over his time. We have over here in the blue, in the red, spicy matchup for E, regretting his aggressive placement. This game is on such a nice edge that overextends a little and defeats their screen. Right on down the board. One extra to shield and a 4 in the Miracle Bowl. Almost assuredly auto. I think if anybody can figure out their way out of this matchup, it will be him. It's going to make it very difficult for the Grey Knights to deal with. 6 just went through on the Dumping Knight. 6, 7 city was floating. 4, 10, 16 plus 5, 21 mortals? Holy shit! What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 final, who has played many a different faction over his time. We have over here in the blue, in the red, spicy matchup for E, regretting his aggressive placement. This game is on such a nice edge that overextends a little and defeats their screen. Right on down the floor. One Exorcist, a Shield and a 4 in the Miracle Pool. Almost assuredly auto. I think if anybody can figure out their way out of this matchup, it will be him. It's going to make it very difficult for the Grey Knights to deal with it. 6 just went through on the Deathwing Knight. 6, 7 city was floating. 4, 10, 16 plus 5, 21 mortals? Holy shit.
Out of line of sight, yeah.
I mean, if Magnus is here.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 Season 8
That's why I need
Grand Finals. We've gone through all the group stage and elimination stage games, taken about 400 players from this season of T5S2, and boiled them down to the cream of the crop. We have over here in the blue Rentar, aka Ash, running Adeptus Sororitas versus Sergeant Crusader in the red on Thousand Suns. It's been an insane journey to get to this point. We've laughed, we've cried, we've watched some insane dice rolls happen.
25 points.
And it's now time for it to get to the end.
It's not 4+.
What fight first?
Hopefully everybody is ready for this game.
I thought you said fight first, and I was like, what?
Thanks everyone for joining.
That would be a bit.
Let's run through the lists here as the players are rocking through their deployment.
Really like unchargeable.
Ash is over here running her Adepta Sororitas. She is on Bringers of the Flame, the currently highest performing detachment for the faction. That includes the Demonifuge,
The Zango Shaman.
alongside Morvenval, St. Celestine, the Triumph of St. Catherine, and a Colexus Assassin. The players were allowed to adjust their lists between the group and elimination stages. No players decided to make any transformative changes, but we did see some minor adjustments based on their respective opponents. Ash ended up taking a little bit of anti-chaos technology that included that Demonifuge, who can force battle shock checks on chaos units, as well as do mortal wounds to them, with a greater effect on that ability against chaos keyworded enemies. Also, that Colexus Assassin with a 2+ Feel No Pain against psychic attacks and a fairly good anti-psyker weapon.
And the one on the
is also particularly effective against Thousand Suns armies.
The objective, only the unit has to be, but
we also have a unit of 3 Arco Flagellants Dominion squad that equipped with multi-guns that we watched to do some insane damage in Ash's semi-finals game. A 10 model Seraphim squad that's attached with St. Celestine to give them a little bit of additional resilience, protect the Flamer equipped sisters in the unit, and allow Celestine to move quickly up the table using their shoot and scoot ability. We also
place the Demon Prince because of
see a Novitiate squad, a 10 model Novitiate squad. That's been combat squatted by an Immolator. 5 models are pushed up into the terrain feature up in the center here. And these are going to be trying to generate some miracle dice as well as screen it off from any rubric brains trying to punch through that area. That's followed up by a trio of Castigators and 2 Immolators. 1 battle cannon equipped Castigator to give a little bit more long range anti-cover shooting to the army. That makes it a little bit easier to proc the +1 AP at longer distances while still remaining combat effective. Obviously, these autocannons are only really good once they get their rapid fire shots available. We also then have a Paragon Warsuit unit to attach Morvenval into. Altogether, fairly standard stuff for Bringers of Flame, but again with that anti-chaos flair, which definitely has been working out for Ash so far. Sergeant Crusader not playing Black Templars, this is true, yeah. He maybe should be, although he's played a bunch of different stuff in the past. typically likes to play these kind of cerebral lists.
have a
I know. I think when he first started playing in T5S2, he was on Salamanders, if I remember correctly. I think he was on a Salamanders Landspeeder list back in 9th edition.
Of the unit.
But it's been an interesting journey. He has been in Thousand Suns for the most of 10th edition now, and has largely his list has remained unchanged. Talking to him before the game, he actually said that his list did not change at all.
Is it like
from the beginning of the edition, literally until the elimination stage game of the Invitational, he had never made an adjustment to his Thousand Suns list. It was actually a little under points costed because of points changes that he had that had happened to the faction. He was playing about 15 points under in his group stage games. That has been adjusted now, and he is
target an object.
playing. I think what is a relatively standard variety of Thousand Suns. He's also mentioned that we are just to be clear for everyone. The rules did change on Thursday, specifically for indirect fire weapons with Torrent. We are not playing with those rules. The rules lock for the group stage was a few days before that, and the
last time I did this,
we're using the rules as of that date rather than the more updated variety.
Your vehicles.
That means that
no, my vehicle's 3.3.
we're going to be running an Exalted Disc Sorcerer with Lord of Forbidden Lore. Pretty standard inclusion, alongside 3 Infernal Masters.
The sides here.
One with the Arcane Vortex, one with an Umbralific Crystal, and one with no upgrades. Alongside a Demon Prince. That's a foot Demon Prince for the Stealth Aura. 2 Zangor Shamans. Looks like one of them is attached into an Enlightened unit. The other one looks like it's going to be running solo, interestingly, in this case. I think, depending on the level of sort of indirect fire that the other player has, Sergeant Crusader likes to either attach or leave the Shamans unattached. They're useful utility units and good for running up the center of the table in order to complete Kabbalistic rituals in the early game as relatively fast, super cheap Kabbalistic Psychers. But they can attach to the Zangor Enlightened units to enhance their combat effectiveness a little bit. We also then have Ahriman on a Disc of Tzeentch. She's attached into this big, huge brick of Flamer Rubric Marines. So a 10-model Rubric Marine squad with Warp Flamers. Sometimes you do see Ahriman as a lone independent operator there, but not today. He's going to be attached in. That 10-model Rubric Marine squad is also followed up by 3 additional 5-model Rubric Marine squads for the Infernal Masters to join into, a 10-model Cultist squad, as well as 2 units of 3 Zangor Enlightened with Great Bows. I'm playing favorites because I'm a Thousand Suns player. I haven't played Thousand Suns in a while, to be fair, chat. Yeah, that would be the case for all stuff. Even if we had Penitent Host in the finals here, we would not be playing with the updated rules. Because that is how rules locks typically work. We are on Linchpin today, folks. So players can score up to 3 victory points for each objective marker they control. That improves if you hold your home objective. You score 3 points for holding your home, and an additional 2 victory points for each other objective marker that you control. So there is a lot of potential counterplay available here if players can contest each other's home objective. So Linchpin tends to be kind of a swingy mission. If you can push far enough into your opponent's side of the table that you can lock them out of that home objective, you can deny them enormous numbers of primary. And interestingly, we are on layout 7 here. This is Somber Sentinels, the T5S2 map pool. It is based on the Pariah Nexus terrain layouts. These have not been updated with that Thursday update as well, so we are playing on the old terrain sets. On top of that, there is a lot of potential kind of egress from the this ruin into the home objective for each player. So there's a lot of potential kind of aggressive plays that are available to both players if they can use that ruin to springboard any movement onto each other's home objectives. The Sororitas being in Briggers of the Flame and having access to assault weapons and really fast movement with that Triumph of St. Catherine and auto 6 advances do potentially have a little bit more of a maneuverability
spot.
I guess.
Yeah.
superiority over the Thousand Suns, but obviously Thousand Suns have Magnus, who's extremely fast, alongside that Temporal Surge to be able to double move themselves. So it will end up being relatively similar.
Over here, behind that.
Sergeant Crusader taking up a very
able to see it.
Yep.
condensed formation in the middle of the table here.
Yeah.
Do you have this big Terminator? He has used the big Terminator as the Demon Prince model. It's just about as big as a Demon Prince, and with that big staff, will be essentially as voluminous for the purposes of line of sight, but also sort of fits the theme very nicely. The Demon Prince models in TTS are a little hokey sometimes, although there are some cool custom ones that the players use. So everybody is sort of posting up in the center of the table there, but one thing that we have to keep in mind is that he does have that Umbralific Crystal available, so he does have a reposition. So Ash is never going to be able to entirely leave her backline exposed, because there could be the potential that there's that Umbralific Crystal push. We have an Immolator over in the corner here. This is Immolator number 2, which I believe typically houses her... typically houses her novitiates. She has her own Magnus Thread and strategic reserves. I think she's using that to proxy base where Magnus Thread could be, to pre-measure where she has to be worried about his attacks.
33, you're saying? That's
because 21 plus 12 is 33.
Yeah.
Ensuring that the hand flamers don't get to grips with the Infernal Master Squad over here.
Yeah. Can you measure that?
Although I think if Ash decided to commit the entire hand flamer brick and get 1 or 2 models to shoot, that would probably be a good trade for Sergeant Crusader. I don't know if he has to be quite as worried about that. This layout 7 in the Pry Nexus pack is actually really interesting. One thing that is kind of easy to overlook in this layout is that there's a few lines of sight across the center of the table, but because of these 2 terrain features in the middle, a lot of the more obvious lines of sight, at least in the first turn, are actually not available. There is no line into this corner of the ruin without basically breaking the middle of the table, the line across the center of the table, in order to get shots. And while the Bringers of the Flame can potentially get those lines of fire, it is extremely difficult. You have to basically pass through this huge ruin in order to access the models that are standing back here, which is very, very defensive. So on both sides, a similar thing happens on the other side, where the little sentinels in the middle of the table will block line of sight across the center. You have a little bit more play in the open areas than you might think that you do. It's a very aggressive position from Magnus, that being the case. The thing that Sergeant Crusader has to keep in mind about, and this is what Alucard actually fell afoul of in the semifinals game with Ash, is the danger of that turn 1 Immolator push. So if Ash is able to get the first turn, she can run the Dominion Squad Immolator 6 inches forward with its scout, then advance it up to an additional 21 inches. You can auto 6 in advance thanks to the 6 in the Miracle Pool added by the Triumph of St. Catherine. The Triumph of St. Catherine then adds +1 to that dice result, because it adds +1 to advance rolls, and +2 movement for an additional +3 inches of distance. And then you can push that Immolator super duper far forward. Potentially, you can also, if you are in an aggressive enough position, you can also get the Dominion squads into a similarly dangerous position. She was able to get both the Dominion squads and the Immolator firing at Magnus on the top of the first turn. In that game, it doesn't look like it will be quite as much firepower into Magnus, but Magnus is going to be of limited defensiveness on the very first turn. So any converted Melt-A-Shot or Hunter Killer is going to be potentially disastrous. And if Magnus is not at tip-top shape, he has to be very careful about where he pushes up the table, because Castigators can knock him down with combined firepower. If you ignore cover using the Immolator and you hit him with the Battle Cannon Castigator or one of the other Castigators first, an Auto Cannon Castigator puts him on its invuln save and wounds on 5s with twin length. So you can expect 2 or 3 failed saves against that weapon profile, and that's a chunk of damage out of Magnus, since that's damage that's not coming back anytime soon.
All right, back to you.
Cool. I'll just put some Infernal Master and friends here.
So the orange unit over here for Sergeant Crusader, this is the Umbralific Crystal unit, so this is the unit that can jump into the air.
Because he is.
He's not. No, he's not meant to be on the terrain. Sorry.
Here's our Lord of Forbidden Lore. Our Arcane Vortex, I think, is typically the purple Infernal Master. We saw him go absolutely ham in the semifinals game. He killed 2 or 3 Chaos Knight War Dogs by himself. And the unupgraded Fertile Master is the one a little bit out in the open here.
Like that. So there's your vote. I mean, I did.
The Unprolific Crystal is an interesting... It's always difficult, in my experience, to position that guy effectively because the... You want to put him in kind of a flanking position or something like that, where he can redeploy if he needs to. But oftentimes, redeploying him away from that position leaves you a little bit weak on that flank. And I do wonder if that's what Sergeant Crusader is going to have a little trouble with. Looks like we could potentially push the Dominion squad super far up the table here and try to get some shots into the Exalted Disc Sorcerer. I wonder if Ash does push that far forward because the
There you go.
All right, well,
the Overwatch against the Dominions is pretty dangerous. That's one thing that we didn't see happen in Alucard's game, which is a little surprising. Although it does leave the Thousand Suns open to potentially blank a damage characteristic in the shooting phase, so it's a consideration to make. As ensuring that she can push her Immolator out around the terrain feature.
all right.
Yeah, so placed in a position where it can scout either forward or backwards, depending on the roll to go first.
Beware.
Yeah, that's it. All down.
And we are rolling.
She goes first. Good luck. I roll a 1. Let's do it.
Got a 3.
You go first.
And that is blue side.
To you.
Ash taking the first turn. That's typically very effective for Adeptus Sororitas because they have all of these scouting units, or at least one scouting unit that's relevant. They have the potential to perform this kind of alpha strike. And we also have scouts on the side of the table for the Thousand Suns, but it's literally just the cultists who are going to push out into sort of a defensive position. So they have enough pressure. They have enough forward operation to put a ton of pressure on the opposing army on the first turn, and that also then kind of eats a lot of your focus on that turn. You can't allow those Dominion squads to get another round of firing into you, and while it's difficult to engage them the turn that they pop out because they can reactive move back into the Immolator and then redeploy out of it once it's destroyed, you can probably take it out, although it usually requires a little bit of overcommittal. The downside is that allows the Sororitas to push super far forward with their other assets and set themselves up in aggressive positions where you are where you're trying to basically fight with the line of scrimmage on your deployment line. The other thing that this will end up doing is giving Ash a really good avenue to attack with the Seraphim. Essentially, I imagine what she's likely going to do here is push the Seraphim into a corner over here and allow them to threaten the linchpin objective on the follow-up turn. And that's going to require some very careful positioning for Sergeant Crusader to try to play around.
Right. So
we are not using the August 1st updates now. The cutoff for rules was back on July 30th, so we were a couple days short of the August updates. We, to be fair, had no idea that there were any updates coming, so the lists were already set in stone before those updates went down. Interestingly, Sergeant Crusader and I had a conversation, and I think he's talked about this in the discussions after his previous game. He doesn't feel that the Torrent change has actually significantly adjusted how his army plays. He just, he doesn't feel that it's quite as transformative to Thousand Suns as maybe as it was intended, because I think the intention that now is to use Warp Sight to basically specifically buff Magnus's firing and just use the torrent weapons as standard torrents anyway. As I mentioned before, he didn't really change his list at any point in the lead up to the Invitational throughout essentially the entirety of the edition, and for most of the edition that was a 2 CP stratagem to Warp Sight for the Warp Flamers, or for the Scrimmer invocations, and that was usually too expensive. That was more than you wanted to pay, and he just used them sort of as a natural torrent. So basically, the game plan, at least as he sees it, has not changed. Which is I don't know. know, pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see if warp sight ends up becoming a big deal in this situation. I do wonder if there is a universe where we can hop a Zangor Shaman far enough to peek a line of sight to a Seraphim. A big advance on this Zangor Shaman, assuming it doesn't go down to the Immolator coming into the space over here, could potentially see a temporal surge into this area, do a little bit of light screening, get a warp sight onto a single Seraphim, and see the Seraphim unit get taken out. That is a potential play if Ash does not counter deploy that.
Can we change that to number?
Surprise Harpies didn't make it to the finals. I know, no Harpies at all, chat.
To be like this.
Tyranids, in fact, didn't make it super far either. Odysseus was rocking Tyranids with a Crusher Stampede on the group stage, but was not able to make it out. Adeptus Sororitas, unfortunately, he was one of the lower seeds moving on into the Invitational, and so was placed into Group A, which was kind of the killer group, alongside Ash and Faye, two extremely skilled Adeptus Sororitas players. And Sororitas are so good at killing Tyranid monsters that that was a rough time of it. We watched a lot of Haru Spexes and Psychophages get burnt to death by flamers and multiguns and endless castigator shooting. Ash is setting up the Castigators for a push next turn, keeping them extremely far back, which I think is the correct course of action. She is respecting the threat of that warp site. The other thing to keep in mind about the Seraphim squad as well is that it is actually super difficult to
7.5
access the special weapon models in the unit. They have two Gemini Superia attached to St. Celestine, where saves are going to be placed first, since Celestine can regenerate models back to those models back to her unit in your command phase once they're destroyed. Those have a 2+ save, so they're harder to kill than the rest of the unit. They also have access to a Armor of Contempt. They can reduce incoming AP, and they're in cover right now. The warp site will obviously ignore that. So they're very difficult to kill, and then you also have 6 other Battle Sisters equipped with bolt pistols that you're really not worried about. So killing that unit's going to be a big deal, very difficult task, even if the
Would you like to Overwatch it?
I can't. Turn 1.
Oh right. You can't. Done one. Am I with 9?
We're in Fog of War today, chat. By the way,
I've got to.
So no availability to Overwatch here.
All right. Well,
the
shunt back a little bit.
So especially when trying to deal with the Immolators over here, if we can get a cheeky warp sight into that unit, it's gonna
I went back 1
make things a little bit easier. It's going to still be difficult to have enough attacks to kill the Immolator and also kill the Seraphim as well.
Go for the...
Looks like we might be trying to peek on the Zangor Shaman. If we can peek on the Zangor Shaman, it's going to... that would stymie that play, because obviously you no longer have that Kabbalistic Ritual Caster who can push super far up the table. He has only moved 10, and he's mounted, so he can't go through walls. But that's probably good enough with the Temporal Surge that you can get him into an aggressive spot.
Okay, then disembark. We've got you over here. Can anyone be within 6? 1 + 1, maybe 2 models can be within 6 cents line of sight. 2. Do I have line here? I do, because of your pokey things.
So isn't the blue line why I drew to... But
I'm trying to figure it out. Because it doesn't clip the ruin exactly. So if I draw this through the... Wrong.
Yeah, it's fine.
If I draw this through... if I pass the outside edge of the line, should be correct.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I've got 3 models within 6. This one is definitely not in. She has to go somewhere else. She will go and get line of sight.
Sure.
Alright.
Now this is going to be a fairly scary attack here from the Immolator. I think it's likely that we see one or both of these casters go down. Although it is a limited volume of attacks. It's only 4 Melta shots from the Dominions, plus the Heavy Bolter and the Multi-Melta off of the Immolator. So it's not going to clear quite as many Rubric Marines as I'm sure Ash would like to do, but clearing away those Cannibalistic Ritual Casters is going to be a big deal.
Actually, no. You've got the Demon Prince. Everything at the same cost shop.
Sure.
So Meltas.
So it looks like Immolator just trying to knock out the Shaman here. Cover is not going to be a problem for those Melty guns, so we don't really need to split fire.
He's within half. Take a 3. Blow him up.
Oh. Yep. Bye-bye.
Oh, and there is the Zangor Shaman taken out. So that is probably...
And these skulls. One
that,
shooting at these guys, the rest are shooting here.
That is probably that Warp Sight play
So
off the table. Let's see if the Dominion squad can kill a
Melta
Exalted Sorcerer on the go.
Melta's in Melta range.
Mm-hmm.
2 hits.
Only 2 hits. It's going to be a little dicey.
Cool.
2 wounds, and Sergeant Crusader does have a damage blank on the table here. It will still take Melta damage.
First one, you don't have a 6, and this is
I do have a 6.
You do have a
because
6.
I rolled a nat 6.
Oh my god, Ash had 2 6s in the Miracle Pool on the push here. Is this going to kill the Lord of Forbidden Lore right off the bat? No way.
So
oh, he failed both saves!
Take a 6.
And that kills him. Oh, chat! That is a loss right there. That is unfortunate.
I would never have been able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's...
Oh, boy.
Nope. Alright. Oh, and they use the Cherub, so I get to cycle it. 1. Well, they use a Miracle, so I can...
And that's all the disc casters taken out as well, besides this last Sangor Shaman that's kind of attached to the unit back here.
That's 2 units. 4 forward. No prisoners and 1.
Disgusting. No prisoners. Clipped in for quite a bit, as well as a nice cleanse.
Pitch cleanse, actually, for a CP, because that happens before I score.
Fine.
And pass it on to you.
Cool. So that was
at
a
the start
horrible...
of your turn, I will generate a Miracle, which is a 6.
Oh my god, and then roll another 6 into the Miracle Pool. This is brutal.
That's possible. Of course, we'll take devastating wounds.
Oh my god. Alright, well, bring it down, and no prisoners on the table for Sergeant Crusader. Actually, probably the best draw that he could have hoped for here. There's nothing really available for him to kill otherwise. And that's going to be 2 secondaries that can score fairly easily off of this Immolator and the Embarked unit going down. The awkward part is going to be dealing with the Dominions once the Immolator is killed. Rentar does have enough CP available to Armor of Contempt that Immolator, which will keep it safe from a lot of the Flamer shooting. Although devastating wounds from the Psychic attacks will still probably be problematic for it. I think that maybe you have to just pile Magnus on into the Immolator and try to knock it out with him and his devastating damage, and then use the Flamers to restrict where the Dominion squads could stand.
We've lost the yellow cabal points. Take that off.
Yeah, interesting thing that Sergeant Crusader does here, which I actually kind of love. He color codes every single one of his Kabbalistic Ritual casters, and then keeps a pool of dice with that are color coded to those casters. So every time he loses a caster, he can just pull out the corresponding dice from the pool to know exactly how many he has, which I think is one of the better ways I've seen to do it.
So I think we just need to come here. Then we just need to screen your Deep Strike.
Ash just going for the jugular. Yeah, it turns out when you bring her to the flame and have 2 natural 6s in your Miracle Pool, or 1 natural 6 and then it's Triumph of St. Catherine, and you go first. There's not really much that you can stop you. I think the one thing that Thousand Suns can try to do to block this, although I don't believe that they actually out-deploy the Sisters, so I think it's a little bit awkward, is using the Cultists to block this sort of aggressive push.
Advance 17.
You still have to... It forces the Sisters to put something in line of sight, maybe to kill the Cultists if they want to knock them out, and you can maybe get their scout move into a position where you can stop the Dominions from disembarking into these positions, but that's extremely difficult to be able to see, because usually that Immolator will drop, I think, after the Cultists do, and so you don't necessarily know where you're going to need to screen. But that's, I think, essentially the one way that Thousand Suns can block that move, because they have no access to infiltrators, literally none whatsoever. There are no infiltrating units in this entire codex.
The question is, would I?
Yeah, the Fog of War there was brutal as well. It does mean that Sisters don't have CP reroll available on the first battle round here. The only stratagem they can use that's a core stratagem is New Orders, but I think that's a small consolation. And it also looks like 8 a CP from Sergeant Crusader as well to damage blank one of those hits. Unfortunately, the melting heads are a random damage weapon, so you can't you can't operate with perfect knowledge there against those ones. For whatever reason, the fast dice rolls say that you can only fast the dice roll saving throws when damage characteristics are static. Which is I don't know. It's an interesting rule, but
well, I think I need to.
It does make those melting heads harder to suss out.
If I don't do it, it's gonna be pointless. I can't double Doombolt anymore, so I'm swimming in CP in Cabal points right now. So that's not going to matter.
Umbralific Crystal is triggering.
I'm off the board. If you don't mind, I'll plan where they go.
Sure.
And then we'll.
They are also, I guess, interestingly, immune to Overwatches as well.
Well, this guy doesn't measure very well.
So I wonder if the game plan is going to be to try to get the line of sight onto the Seraphim here. If we can place them into the center objective, and then Temporal Surge, we could get around the corner.
Would be invisible to any angle you can actually draw, because you'd have to be inside this run to see him. But
yeah.
Because he's currently elevated a bit from where he should be.
I don't know if
I can just.
We're too excited about killing the Calexis Assassin right now.
There's nothing stopping me doing that. As far as I understand.
No.
And then that lady, 9. Cool, thank you. I
guess the Soul Reaper cannon is actually not too bad against the Calexis. It does have sustained hits from the Infernal Master and is not a psychic weapon, and does have devastating wounds, so we could see him get knocked out by Flamers here. Although he's still relatively tough to kill. He's not the easiest thing. We're at least T4 of the 4
rerolls. You're touching objectives, it's going to be full rerolls for all the guys. And then we're going to have Doombolt and 2 save rerolls, which is fine.
Interesting. Yeah, so I guess the question is...
6 on them to... Sorry.
If Sergeant Crusader
actually
trades this unit for the Seraphim, and he's really going to have to... I think he's going to have to use Warp Sight in order to get that kill.
Can be from any sorcerer.
You can probably knock the Seraphim squad with the combined power of the Infernal Masters. And that will probably kind of overdraw Ash's Armor of Contempt. She's not going to be able to use Armor of Contempt both on the Immolator in the back and on the Seraphim. That would be a big swing. Is that enough material to counteract his turn 1 losses here? Because he is going to be trading the Infernal Master for that. He's going to potentially lose that unit. Although, interestingly, it is a fairly reasonable Overwatch threat. And I think any position where you can potentially get like an Infernal Master with an open glimpse of eternity into a Paragon Warsuit unit, for example, there is the potential you knock out a Paragon Warsuit, and that would be a big loss for Ash as well. So putting these Flamer units in an aggressive posture is never terrible.
Normally. Because Sisters do die to cultists every now and again. Now let's.
You moving them there?
Yeah.
Confirmed?
Yeah, you'll reactive move it to a tank.
Okay, hop in.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Well, everyone has to move, so.
Yeah, I don't think there's a universe where Sergeant Crusader cannot reactive move, cannot trigger the Dominion's reactive move. That's another reason that squad is so strong. They can push super far forward, and then basically, regardless of how you're trying to deal with them, because they're right next to you, you're almost always going to trigger their scoot, and they can scuttle back into the Immolator to then be difficult to kill again.
Here, and then
I think it's still likely that Ash will lose that unit, but the question is how dearly she loses them.
And then we need the second unit.
Because it might take quite a while for the rubrics to actually cut down the Immolator by themselves. It's not touching an objective. It looks like Ash was considering landing on the objective there, but that would have been disastrous. I think Aramon's unit would have gone absolutely run roughshod over there. So, placing the Infernal Masters in a position where they can start to shoot at Celestine's unit. We do have some Flamers and things that can potentially fire into the Immolator to hopefully help knock it down. And again, we're going to need to place models where they can access this position in front of the Immolator, because that's likely where the Dominion squad's disembarking. that maybe would have been where the Infernal Master is going. And I guess the Infernal Master can fire last over here and potentially threaten its flamers onto that position to knock out the Dominion squad if they do end up disembarking over there. The Zangor Shaman can also help chip in a little bit too. If the Fatecaster Great Bows are firing not into enemies in cover, they're actually not too bad. They're 2 shots each with lethal hits. And the Zangor Shaman himself has a blast devastating weapon. So killing 5 Sororitas models is fairly reasonable for them.
Okay. And what's the angle here? You can come down. Could try and come this side of it and shoot at them. Yeah, you probably can't. So let's just not do that because we can talk. And there's going to be some ladies coming out at the front of this tank at some point. So these guys are moving 4. But we'll come around here as well. Because I'd like to see whoever comes out of this, if I can. Let's stick our thingy out. This guy's going to be 7. This guy's going to be here. This guy's going to be here. And this guy's going to be here. I just flame. Oh, I think that was a bit too far. And then our man just needs to be somewhere else. Okay, then the Demon Prince comes here.
The Prince might be 1,000 Suns model that can afford to kind of push a little bit. That guy's not the easiest thing to kill by himself.
Here, but
He's coming in at T10, so a lot of the autocannons needs 5s to wound him. And he has that stealth and a base 2+ armor save, so as long as he's benefiting from cover and he hasn't been immolated, then the Castigators have a tough time killing him. And I do think that Ash is... I guess the Paragon Warsuits can maybe knock out the Infernal Master here, but Ash may need to dedicate some of the shooting from those
blue line
those Castigators into the models in the middle. So if this Demon Prince needs a charge to get in the center there, I think I think that Sergeant Crusader's probably going to be okay with that. Now, Ash literally only has the Demonofuge in reserve here, so I don't know if
and then we go on to
Sergeant Crusader necessarily needs to be screening out the Deep Strike this turn, although next turn he's going to have to be acutely aware of a rapid ingress from that Demonofuge, because they can do so much work against Rubric Marines if you let them kind of run roughshod. Here comes the Infernal Master pushing forward towards the Calexis Assassin.
That's pointless as well.
Yeah, not touching the terrain there would be the key.
These guys need to come here.
And the question is whether or not we're going to get good lines of sight onto that Calexis Assassin. For sure,
I cannot see him.
The Flamer cannot see him. Cool. So if I flip these two like that.
Yeah.
And then this guy's at the back. There's not going to be any more there. So.
There's going to be 1 Flamer and 1 Soul Reaper at most. Like two models cap.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're going for
and then everyone
giving it a good old college try here. Two models trying to kill that Calexis Assassin. It's going to be a little bit tough.
Like the very tip of like the little.
Yeah. The little.
But the little bud hit. That's it.
Cool. That's fine.
I think you're getting more than that.
And then this guy is going to get there as well, so that's all good.
Damage on that Calexis Assassin is also very relevant here,
so
because the
spent on top of the
1,000 Suns have so many psychic weapons. Any non-psychic damage they can do at this early means that the Calexis Assassin becomes in danger of overwatches or grenades potentially later on in the game. Non-psychic attacks that Sergeant Crusader can try to source to take that model out.
D3 plus 3, so 5.
Looks like blowing the rest of our CP on a Doom Bolt here, and I think we...
That onto
Are we not warp sighting?
Phase. We'll start with declaring the strat with the Infernal Master for 1 CP. Ooh, that's the wrong button.
Oh, you did use the 6 for...
And we'll declare a shot, so Chain Cannon into Calexis, Flamer into Calexis, 1 Flamer can't shoot, and the other
goes into
discounted strat. As well as the Sorcerer and the Infernal Master, overcharging the Infernal Master, of course. And the Plasma Pistol overcharging as well.
Alright, I will spend the CP to AOC.
Sure. So we'll start with the Flamer that can see the Seraphim. 5 shots. On 3s, rerolling. 3 saves, please.
So just base save.
AP1, ignore cover. So yes. One is
yeah.
AP2, sorry. So one is AP2.
How many Cabal did we spend there?
So I got the free one from Araman.
Oh, we used the Armand's free one. Okay, I gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair enough.
Got 6.
I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
so
All right.
uh,
Makes sense.
plus 2,
Yeah, I was doing the math in my head. I was like, that's 18 Cabal points, and we have 17 on the table right now. But Aramon's free
the Seraphim.
free
and
ritual. Might as well burn it now if there's a potential that Aramon gets
then
picked
we've
up
got
by
the 2 smites.
castigators on the next turn, depending on how far
Once.
Rentar wants to
devastating,
push
so go to
into
the
the
end.
Thousand Suns lines.
There's one devastating there. Then we've got the Infernal Master shooting at you.
That's
7
not my
shots. Rerolling everything, wounding on 2s. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll for it. Sure. We're gonna flip one as well, so it's gonna be 5
Sounds like we also did use our Armor of Contempt
and 2 saves.
on the Seraphim squad.
0.
2 saves.
So that is, the Immolator, I guess, already being
No cover.
debulled means it's going to be
But you're
fairly,
fine, yeah.
fairly low here.
And that's all the shooting into. Oh, sorry, the plasma pistol.
If it's
hit.
just a basic save, I'm not flipping to you. You don't need to flip to me. It's like
Okay.
it's
Four-
only complicated saves where I'll flip.
Yeah.
Plasma pistol, right?
Yeah.
Four up.
AP. Yeah. So it goes
1
on.
Gemini dice.
1. Cool. And then 2 overcharges in this unit, and you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mortal wounds, please.
Mhm.
They're all fine.
Waste of a boxcars there. Big swing into the Seraphim. Whoa. Knocks one Gemini Superior down.
The
We're down to,
Alexis.
is that 4
Yep.
Seraphim here?
He has stealth. Yeah. Cool. 1
Yep.
sustained. And re-rolling 1, so 1 devastating and 1 save, please.
Okay. Take 1 damage.
Cool. Takes 1. And then the flamer, 6 shots.
Ooh, big hit from the Flamer here. Do we kill a Calexis Assassin?
Once, UT4,
No,
right? So
probably
3.
not.
Yep. Okay.
He lives!
Dice rolling.
Bosses it with the invulnerable save. Only 1 damage. Onto that Calexis Assassin, but we now have 2 Infernal Masters that are going to be blitzing into
We're
St.
gonna
Celestine's
go
unit to try to knock her
with-
down.
Um,
Wow, we're just we're going so aggressive this game.
Gonna fire at Celestine.
2 sorcerers down for the Thousand Suns already at bottom of round 1, and we may lose Celestine's unit as well, alongside an Immolator
All the other weapons.
and a Dominion squad,
Plasma pistol, not.
and threatening the Calexis Assassin on top of that. It's
Damage 1.
this is just
Hitting
an
on
insane
4s.
amount of
Nope.
aggression from both of these sides.
Shots. 7.
Is this the Arcane Vortex one?
No,
Yes,
this is
okay.
not the. No, it's the green one. It's not the Arcane Vortex one. Rerolling everything. I was just gonna go for it. It was exactly the same. So 1 devastating and 5 saves, please.
So functioning AP0.
Ignores cover, so no. AP1 still.
How? Oh, right, because you got warp sight.
The strand, yeah, the strand ignores cover.
Okay. So these have to be 3 ups. No, 4 ups. 4 up. 4 up. 1 Seraphim still standing.
Cool. And you took a devastating, yeah. So you fell 2 and then devastating.
Okay. Nothing else coming?
Not from that unit, no.
Okay. Miracle is a 1.
And that
Is the Superior alive here?
No, it's the Gemini.
No, that's a Gemini. Oh,
Okay,
sorry, I
yeah.
flipped her because she was something else.
3 doesn't explode, so that's good. Okay, and then we shoot whatever we can into the other guy, which I think is not much. I think it's just going to be the chain cannon and the plasma pistol. So plasma pistol hits, wounds, AP3 damage 1 on the immolator, takes it,
1.
and then the chain cannon, 1 sustained, and rerolling once, 1 devastating, and 2 saves, please.
Take 1 damage. I assume it's AP1, not ignoring cover.
It's no ignoring cover AP1, yeah. And you've taken the devastating, yeah, as well?
Yep.
Yep, cool. And then we go on to the purple unit. Purple unit's going to fire its indirect into Celestine with the Infernal Master, the little sorcerer as well, and we're just going to fire the chain cannon onto that,
Yeah.
and 1 and I think it's the only chain cannon that can get there. So that's what we're gonna do. So, is that what I want to do in my life? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't actually matter who shoots at Celestine, right? Because I've got Magnus as well to shoot. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, Infernal Master's going to shoot the Celestine with the sort of extra boost. 6 shots. I wish it was exploding hits. That'd be awesome. And then that, and we're going to re-roll all of it because I want devastating. I think you got Fill and Paints, but sure. So it's going to be 4 sets of...
That conversion was sick. Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's 4 damage.
You have more shots to make.
Yeah. Well, you failed.
Wait,
4 damage. So you have to kill the Gemini. Yeah.
No, I don't have to kill the Gemini. What are you talking about?
Oh no. Okay. Cool. So and then I've got the 2 smites on 4s, 1 hit. Nope.
Were those 2 failures or 1 failure there? Because they're armor contempted, right?
Oh, right.
It's AP2 no cover.
Right, so it goes to AP1 and Celestine saves on 3s there?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you just told me 4 ups and I was like, okay.
She's still taking like 10 devastating damage. I don't know
You've got 4 sets of 2.
I don't know if she is going to survive.
So, Celestine has 3 left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shuma is in chat. What's up? Yeah, thank you for the shout out there. Like the stream. Would appreciate it.
That, and then...
Ooh, she lives. 1 wound. Awesome. Cool.
Whoa, and Celestine.
That's fine. And then we're shooting the chain cannon onto the immolator.
Yep.
That's pretty nuts.
And we stain 1s. And we 2 devastating. And a save, please.
Save. Take 2.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't matter how I kill you. Probably doesn't. You're gonna come out somewhere silly.
It's a bit shaped like this. Because as I have to keep telling people, spikes are not optional path to build.
Sure. I'll shoot the chickens onto the transport. See if I can kill it. So 6 bows. Sure. And the sorcerer chicken as well, of course. 2 hits, good talk. And then these are not on that. And then the other one is 4 shots. These are on 2s. Because it's +1, he gets +1. Okay, 2 devastating, so it does actually die.
Okay.
Blow up.
Blow up.
Ooh,
no.
Close.
I'm miracle here, so I don't forget it.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to resolve this technically because I only resolved the other one once I remove from the board.
Mm-hmm.
Killed by a Zangor shaman. I don't know if it's
here.
Hard to live
You
down.
only see me with 2 flamers.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 flamers if they're here. Yeah, 3 flamers over here. No, 4.
Mm-hmm. No,
yep. And we will see. Oh. See how many die.
Cool.
I hope it's 3. It's 0. Okay, cool.
Well,
Miracle
either way
is a
works.
1.
Cool.
No, if it was 3, I get actually a lot better. I save a lot more.
Cool. So then we go on to Magnus. Magnus is going to shoot everything at Celestine. So 3 shots. And
I don't know if I've ever been killed by a Zangor shaman, chat.
And then 2s, right?
That Zangor shaman.
But only 2.
He doesn't get to use that gun very often. That's for home defense.
And these are AP2 ignore cover. So just 1, please.
I'll take a 6.
Cool. And then the blast gun, 5, which is 8. 4s. So that. And then on to...
So trying to knock out Celestine here with the...
2 saves at your armor save.
With Magnus's gaze.
So that, and then there'll be 2 sets of 2. And
Save,
then 4, well, 2 and 2. Yeah. She dies.
And then Germany dies.
Yep.
So Celestine's flipped. That's a big turn for no prisoners there. That's already a maximum on no prisoners, and bring it down's been scored.
Cool.
Huge turn from Sergeant Crusader.
We're gonna shoot Araman's squad. I think I can see you with a fair few flamers.
1, 2, 3, and 5.
Yeah, I'd love to kill you with. Since the cultist can see you, I'd really love to kill you with the cultist.
Araman does not quite get there.
No, Araman doesn't need to get there. I think I'm cool.
Yeah, the cultists do generate command points when they destroy units, so Sergeant Crusader's trying to finagle a situation where he can get the final blow with a cultist grenade launcher or a flamer, and if he does that, he's generating CP, even in a situation where he doesn't necessarily need it.
I'll fire 2 flamers at them.
Okay.
I think they'll die anyway, but maybe not. So 3 shots. Cool. So 1 AP1. So 2 AP1, 1 AP2.
All good.
All good. Cool. I was underkill. Then we're gonna fire the flamer and the grenade launcher and the heavy stubber. So heavy stubber first. And we hit 3 times. We wound 2 times.
Good.
Cool. Flamer. 2 shots. Oh my god, my flamer's not working. Yep, just once.
Good.
Sure. And then we've got grenade launcher. Nope. Sick. Okay. So that's that done.
Shooting done?
Yeah, shooting done. Yeah.
The Dominions lived.
Yeah.
What?
She always does, right?
I failed one 3 days ago.
Yeah, Celestia did actually fail to revive in the semifinals game. It was in a position where it didn't really matter. I can't believe these Dominion squads did not. This Dominion squad did not go down to all this shooting though. Cultists looks like we're just gonna push in and try to engage them, take a little bit of table space. There is no fall back and shoot, I don't believe, in the Bringers of Flame. So those Dominions are going to be locked up for a turn.
I put in your secondary scores, unless you want to discard one.
No. I am 100% not discarding one.
No,
This is a pretty good score.
Yeah, so I think they're just going to be locked in here for a little bit.
We'll be somewhere here.
Not quite dead, but basically as dead as we can expect. That also does kind of limit the Miracle Dice regeneration that Ash has.
Yep.
She will get Miracle Dice when that unit's destroyed, and so
And these guys.
killing them later on in the game does give Ash a more limited access to that resource.
Left, the only option, because I can't walk through there, is to charge into this spot here, regardless of what I roll on my dice. Is that correct? Do you agree with that? If I charge with my rubrics?
probably.
Just want to agree it before.
But,
They don't have to move anyway, so I can just leave that guy there. But I'm just wanting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, interesting move here, Ash, as well.
Roll the charge.
Looks like trying to lock.
No. If you roll a 10, you have to base here.
Sure.
Trying to lock
Yeah,
the
was to not
rubrics
do that.
out from being able
I don't
to
think it was possible because
base the
So
target
Araman's going
here.
to move.
Araman is a little dangerous placed in that position. He's taller than the wall there, though.
then here and blocked it.
I don't like that.
For their max.
I think that Sergeant Crusader might think that this wall blocks for Araman. These walls are only about 3 inches tall, and Araman is an enormous miniature.
I don't think he can get an engagement range. That's pointless.
Dude, that could be disastrous, actually.
Cannot occupy that corner.
But not occupy that. There you go.
No, it's his staff, his cape, everything. It's,
Oh.
there's a lot of things that clip. His cloak is
He's not
clipping, yeah.
clipping nothing right now, right?
Now he is. Now he's not. And you are 0.9. Okay. Yeah, but he can't.
I guess we could move him a little bit if the unit pushes towards this objective. If Araman would have to kill the Dominion squad here.
Space Marine. I think.
Um,
We'll get an engagement.
That's a little awkward, chat.
Get one guy in there.
I hope that
That's it.
that doesn't end up
Oh, this guy needs to keep going.
being kind of as bad as it looks like it will.
So So I'll just
Yeah,
punch
there are. It looks like
Batman
there will also be shots across the line
so
here
5 attacks from Maraman.
into that unit, and this unit
Or-
gets so
And ugh,
hamstrung by casualties because you're just dramatically reducing the amount of
and then the other sorcerer
output that it has.
hits 3 times.
And castigators are
Wounds to
extremely
death.
well statted to kill it. I don't know if I like this move, chat.
Corpse.
I don't think Sergeant Crusader particularly needed to make this charge here, and I think it's just giving away a flamer brick for no reason.
Cool. I'll stand there.
Hopefully he remains unpunished for his
and he's got
hubris,
this,
and it takes a couple of additional
Pile in.
attacks to actually kill the rubrics
Here.
over here.
This guy's.
But it does look to me like he's going to be eating at least one castigator, if not 2 castigators worth of attacks in order to into those guys.
This guy has
Look how big that dude is,
base.
by the way. he's like so tall.
Base. And it's going to be 20 attacks from them.
Incredible. Yeah, this does seem like a
Wow.
a massive misplay, but we'll see if it ends up being as bad as it looks like it will.
Yep, so 4 saves, please. Are your armor save?
Okay. I'm just going to roll 3 first.
Cool.
And take a 3,
Sure.
leaving the superior alive.
Sure. I'll just pile around her. Good stuff.
And then she will swing back.
Yep.
1 save, maybe a lot.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why we needed
so
the charge in here. I think that Sergeant Crusader was trying to kill enough of the Dominions that the cultists could kill them, because the cultists do actually have a pretty reasonable melee profile. They're 2 attacks each, so they have a lot of attacks. There's a not insignificant chance if you kill 2 or 3 with Armon that the cultists can pull them down and grab you that CP.
Which I'm skipping the same.
But
No Man's Land.
we're gonna pay dearly for it. And even I think if Armon did not make this charge, right? If that charge was made with a Rubric Marine or something, the placement here on the edge of this ruin still opens them up to at least 1 shot from a castigator, because you can still place this castigator in this position and shoot them. So even without that Aramon positioning, I think that there could be a gat into that unit.
No, she does not.
In this position, though, I think at least 2 castigators are going to be able to CPC, because we're going to be able to put this one potentially toe out on the terrain over here. This guy might have a little bit of trouble. He may be able to advance around the corner, but that might be too aggressive. But we still potentially will theoretically put two rounds of shooting into that guy, and even Morphin Ball. If Ash feels the need. Oh, which is a lot. I don't know about that.
Linchpin. Now what do I need to do? I need to knock you off this, which is difficult, if not impossible.
Yeah, it is good theory. As the players were discussing, though, there is that very minor chance that you
take a battle shot on the Dominion.
you could overcharge into the Dominions, and where the cultists were positioned, accidentally pull your unit too far forward, which has a similar effect. Basically, has the same effect. I guess on the flip side, though, what you are doing is you're at the very least pulling the castigators into the fight. One thing that we saw kind of killed Alakar in the previous game is that the castigators were able to play so far back, he wasn't really threatening them at any point, that they ended up becoming just a really devastating late game piece.
Would you like to?
If there is if there is an artifice here, I think it may be that at the very least a castigator is going to have to push into the line of sight across the table here, and we may push a second castigator up as well. And if Ash wants to shoot those and deal with the Infernal Master in the middle,
you can Overwatch him.
She'll have to probably commit something there too, and Magnus can then counterattack and try to knock out at least some of these long range guns. So. It might be a trade. I don't know if the Flamer Brick is going to be super useful in this matchup, because there aren't really good profiles, and especially with Armor of Contempt on the sister side of the table, there aren't profiles that they're very excited about shooting. They can shoot at the Paragons maybe, but largely bump up into 3+ armor saves.
These guys are all 1 inch.
The Paragons actually do kind of devastating damage back to them in Overwatch. You have that full reroll Heavy Bolter with the full reroll blast missile launcher from Morven Ball, plus all the Paragon shooting.
Sure.
So you like take damage on the way in, and then do
Yeah.
little damage
Yeah,
yourself.
definitely not.
So we might just be hoping that Ash overcommits into that unit to try to kill them, and then we can counterpunch pretty well. I don't know if that's. I might be assigning some additional attention there, but I do think that there is the potential. This could go well for Sergeant Crusader if just fucking moving the roads. This could go well for Sergeant Crusader if he if he ends up if Ash ends up sort of trying to punish here.
Yeah. Short charge. Magnus can get in. Go here. Charge.
Angron03, you're a longtime Thousand Suns player?
Doable.
I think you might have the wrong username there, my guy.
Sure. Right, so.
Big scandal. Angron posting on alt here.
I know the Gemini is closer because that's how angles work.
Mm-hmm.
Spin Celestine to make sure she's not catching extra fire. So you've got move Celestine around a bit because she moved back quite a bit. No.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one green who can Overwatch.
Cool.
Or
Yeah,
one
okay.
purple.
Not gonna.
So Celestine did regen, so she's
Another-
back to full and has a Gemini Superior available. Well, we may see as an attempt to epic challenge one of the Infernal Masters. She could lock into both Infernal Masters and try to kill the Arcane Vortex. If she rolls enough devastating damage, she only needs 2 sets of devastating to actually kill him.
I need those dead.
So if she naturally rolls a 6, you can plug in additional 6 because Ash's Miracle Pool, I guess, is only 1 6 remaining now because she's used a couple. But that that could see the Arcane Vortex Infernal Master go down here.
Movement.
Although if she doesn't kill
You
him,
don't
she's
have
probably
reactive
not long
moves.
for this world.
More later.
It's a lot of force weapons to eat on the crackback.
Castigator is going to move here.
Mm-hmm.
So you get sight on your focus, and it's within 24. Well, very within 24, I think.
Oh, we're lining up on the cultists.
This Cassie is
May not be going into Aramon squad, actually.
Over to here, such that I can see your Infernal Master.
Sure.
Now you see your Infernal Master. So I can move back 0.1.
Yep.
There we go.
Cool.
This other one will drop.
Okay. Well, I think Ash is
Valid.
just going to be trying to take the few
They're just going to have a standoff with Magnus. I think.
the few kills that she can get and kind of call it a day. Play it very defensively.
And
Pushing too hard into Magnus can go really poorly for you. He definitely has the capability to kill 2 of these battle tanks every turn. The downside is that Magnus and the Paragon Warsuits kind of mutually annihilate. Magnus will kill the Paragon Warsuit team, most likely, if he has the shot on them. And they will, if not kill Magnus, certainly do enough damage that he'll get killed pretty easily by the castigators and stuff. On the follow-up, they get that +1 to hit and wound against him and rerolls from Morven Ball, so they're very efficient.
okay, I thought flip this to
No, I think I'm okay. The orange are gonna die anyway.
Okay. So, see, I've got 2 CP. Alright, things I don't...
Secure No Man's Land and Sabotage are on the table for Ash. Got a Sabotage with that very defensively positioned Novitiate squad there, which is very nice.
Shooting.
And Secure No Man's Land should be fairly easy,
Meltas, yeah.
Sure.
especially with that Dominion Superior there, actually, which is very funny.
This is. Sorry.
And then heavy bolter. Yeah, so 1 and 2 misses, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Heavy bolter onto the cultist.
Yep. Oh, I'm trying to think if I need to CP because I'm trying to figure out if I need to strip cover. I don't think I do, so. 3 hits is the heavy bolter because sustain.
Yes,
On 3,
yeah.
3.
Cool. AP1,
die.
so it's just 2 die. Yeah. We'll just take two randos. Cool.
Mhm. This castigator is going to shoot them with the Stormbolter. The rest of the shots are going at the cultist.
Cool.
It's not shooting the Hunter Killer.
Mm-hmm.
So Stormbolter, shot 1. The meta. 1 save. Oh, cultist lose cover for what it's worth. Because it's the only target.
Yeah.
Extra AP on them whenever it triggers 8 shots into the cultist.
Extra AP from Castigator.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not targeting the cultist with extra AP.
Oh, sure. No,
And
I don't know all the rules, right? So this
yeah.
is on the cultist, yeah?
Yeah, on the cultist.
Cool. So, kills 6?
6.
Cool.
And then the heavy bolters. And on 3. How many left? 1?
1, yeah.
4 saves on him.
Yeah, he's dead. Cool. On a 2+, we'll get a CP. Shame I couldn't get 1 for killing. That would have been awesome, but they just flubbed it. It happens.
The castigator goes
Yep.
per.
Mhm.
Not within 12, doesn't matter. Again, no hunter killer. So
Sure.
heavy bolter.
Sure.
3 saves. AP 2, so 4 ups. These
Yeah.
are all 4 ups.
Yep, so 2 die.
Yep. 2 die. Autocannon.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm lagging a bit. No. 4 saves, 4 ups.
4 ups. Yeah. Ooh. 3 more. And this is damage 3, yeah? 1, 2, 3. Cool.
Yep.
Yep.
And then the Storm Bolter, which I believe I was out of half range. So
That'll be AP1 cover. We're good.
Felix says go burr.
Yeah.
6 shots. I'll hit. 2s. 4 wounds.
AP?
AP2, D3 damage.
Cool. So let's roll this slowly. So first one. 1, you can roll the damage for that. 2. Cool. Next one. It's 4, yeah, I need to save, so he's probably dead.
Yep.
Okay, save that one. This one, you can't sub a damage here,
I cannot.
but no, I'll flip that into a 6,
Okay.
and then I'll look for the last one. I fail it. Can you shoot anything else here? No. You could start to tank shock and do weird shit. She can't charge. He needs an 11-inch. No, I will spend the CP to leave him alive. He's
Okay.
good.
Infernal Masters. Just being sticky little guys to kill.
Celestine will flame at the purple dude. Because this one guy, I put 2 greens and 1 purple in range. In line of sight, rather. Flamer purple. Bolt pistol purple as well. Forward as well. Flamer. 4 shots. 3s.
Mm-hmm.
3 AP2s, ignoring cover. Kill the dude.
Yeah.
Injure another dude. Bolt pistol hits. Bolt pistol wounds because I'm strength 5.
Yep.
Almost safe. AP0.
And that's green, yeah, sorry.
No, that was purple.
Oh, purple, sorry. So purple, 1 purple, 2 purple, yeah. So 2 have died. Am I correct? I rolled a 3 on the save. That's fine, right? You're not AP2 on that.
It's 1 damage, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
so it's down to 1, yeah. So killed 1 and I'm not gonna take the chain cannon, sorry. I'm gonna take a regular flamer. Put a wound on another flamer. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Annoying that he's alive, but can't do anything about that. Well, I can, but
A lot of things you can do.
Get a
right?
Paragon Horseshoe charge in here. Just
mhm.
run him into the open to get flamered to death.
Definitely not worth it.
That's gonna be 24 here. Okay, cool.
Then we go to, yep, that's the end of shooting.
Yep.
We go to charges.
Go for it.
Wow. Well, I think underswing of a turn from Ash.
yeah,
That's kind of what Sergeant Crusader needed after that first battle round went so south.
Free strat on anyone.
Well, looks time to you then.
Yeah, put the time back to me. Yeah, I've got a free strat opportunity, so... well, if it forces to base you, you could end up in a... Like, you can come here. For you, if you declare both units, you have to come here, and that's, like... I'm okay with that, I think. So I'll give the free strat to the purple unit.
Okay.
Actually, that's the charge phase, right? No, I need to wait. Sorry, never mind. Yeah, keep going. Not the fight phase.
Done. Okay. So what's my charge here look like? 4. You don't have any bonuses from charging. Charge green and green alone.
Sure.
Just raw
A
it.
big charge here can actually force Celestine into the back.
8.
Yeah, I think that's actually illegal. Yeah, so it
She
would
goes
be
here. No, I can't because of the thing.
just
They
towards the
literally have to
Infernal
bend it.
Master.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool.
Okay.
You couldn't
and
base
I'm gonna
back
land
here,
off
could
the
you?
turn.
Okay.
But then I'd be out of coherency, wouldn't
Unless Celestine
Yeah, with an 8, you probably can base that guy. Yeah.
No.
could go there. Yeah, probably not. While being
I
outside of
would-
the
yeah.
1 inch area.
No, because if I'm basing here, I'd be within purple.
Right, that's what
Yeah, purple. Yeah, I couldn't. So, yep. She goes here.
I think a 9 would have forced
No,
that
right.
move
Not touching the objective.
to be really awkward, but an 8 was kind of
Oh,
perfect
this is
for,
and she will just
for Ash.
Yep.
If she moves, she needs to finish in engagement range or basing, right? So she can't. If she has the option to move in engagement range.
Yeah, but if I do that, I'm out of coherency.
No, but she can finish here, right? Oh, you mean because this is 1 inch? Sure.
Yeah,
No,
because
you don't have to move it. You don't have the unit has to end in coherency.
yeah, even if I could,
Has to be able to end in coherency. Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, it's
The only requirement is that you base and maintain coherency while moving
Yeah.
towards the target. Yeah.
That unit's gonna get the free strat then, because why not?
okay.
So the awkward part here for Sergeant Crusader is that because Celestine could not base in this situation, she could actually pile into the purple squad. I actually think that you put the free stratagem
Okay.
onto the Arcane Vortex Infernal Master
else
to
happening?
disincentivize Ash from trying to kill him, because right now his shields are down.
Go.
That might be more than 11, but
No.
that's it.
Oh, if it whatever it turned out to be out.
Yeah.
And the kill excess.
Sure.
Oh!
Easy money.
Big charge from the Calexis Assassin into the Infernal Master, who does not have Glimpse of Eternity active.
Yeah.
And he is anti-psych or devastating, so almost certainly kills that Infernal Master.
I
And
was just
that to
playing
you.
6 on the green squad.
Oh, green squad. Okay.
Yeah.
For free strat. Okay.
Yep.
And you have 1 CP.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sure. So
So,
I should be.
yeah, the Calexis can't be intervened
What
on
I'm
here.
going to do is check how close I am. Yeah, 0.7. And
Nah.
tap.
Yeah, engages
and
everybody.
base to base this dude.
And then I think we see
Be a
the
bit closer.
probably an epic challenge here.
This one goes here. The Gemini goes here, base to base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spend a CP on precision
Sure.
and swing at the Celestine swinging at the Infernal at the purple squad.
Sure.
So let's go.
Yeah, so the Calexis Assassin's mad. He tried to get Flamethrower in this round. He's like, oh, Flamethrower me.
The 3S.
Ooh, not the greatest swing in the world for Celestine. Oh, no, just kidding. That was the hit roll. Now he's dead.
And the last one, I don't care.
Well, that's the Arcane Vortex knocked out
Whatever,
for
ones and dice.
Sergeant Crusader. That's a big
Arcane
asset loss there.
And
He's gonna lose 2 Infernal Masters this turn. Ugh.
Oh, can only swing a purple. Sorry.
Heartbreaker.
Okay, so on 3s and on something. One power sword save.
Fine.
Good. All right, and then the kill access.
Yep.
Goodbye, Infernal Masters. Nice knowing you.
And any 2 will kill you.
Just boom.
Rip.
Yeah.
That was a really unfortunate charge to roll out there. Oh, things are not looking good for Sergeant Crusader. This looked like such a strong position for him to be in with an Infernal Master in the middle of the table. But the perfect charge from Celestine into the perfect charge from the Galexis Assassin, that wasn't even using Miracle Dice, chat. Those are just raw-dogged rolls. Ash is getting so lucky this game.
This guy's already.
This has been
Right.
wild. Absolutely wild.
Just need to see, can this guy finish?
And I think things are looking very bad for Thousand Suns.
Go a little bit.
Sergeant Crusader does have
And then
bottom of 5 scoring, so he may try to pull back
well, it doesn't matter. He's just,
and hold on to a scoring lead here.
matter.
But he's now down so far in terms of assets, basically having lost 2 of his really aggressive bricks.
Cool. Shame that's not the Infernal Master. That'd be awesome. Cool. So 3 saves.
Celestine, it's fine.
Sure. And then we got the little stick. And these guys have the free strat, right? The green
Squad.
The green squad has the free strat, never mind. So they all hit and they all wound. AP 1, damage D3.
3 ups.
Very nice. Cool. And then
And Celestine
green squad
blanks the
is
first
away.
force weapon. Oh, no. They're getting closer to hit and wound from Magnus right now, but I guess that's not really helping.
That so you can actually see where your base is going. Because you landed like half on top of Celestine.
Mm-hmm. That goes here. Infernal Master can get closer here.
Ash is one of the Emperor's favorites. Yeah, he's pulling out every miracle for her.
Is that what I want to do with my life?
He's got the best miracles. All right, Infernal Master, we need you to kill Celestine.
6. No, you have to finish closer to Celestine, so.
Yeah, and these guys aren't going to get to shoot
No,
this
no,
coming
this
turn
is-
as well.
Yep.
I think that Sergeant Crusader probably plays a little loose here,
Fight, which is
or plays a little passively here. Tries to kill the Dominion Superior, so he doesn't have to worry about that moving on
and
into
then
the future.
Not basing Celestine.
Pick up Celestine and call it a day. If he can draw an Assassination here, and maybe New Orders into it even, he can play really conservatively. Like a New Orders and
So it's,
Cleanse would
3
be
normal
perfect.
guys
'Cause
first.
we get a nice little Cleanse with the Fatecaster Great Bow. We do a Doombolt into a double move to kill the Dominion Superior to clear that objective off, pull everything back into a defensive posture, and then
Sure.
just say
He
go.
saves.
And force Ash to move really far up the table.
1. Feel no pain it.
Cool. And that's so you're allocating on Celestine, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Then the Infernal Master. Oh, come
2s and 2s.
Yep, 2s is good. And here we use a CP reroll to reroll the 1. So, oh my god. And we'll flip the 2 to a 6. So 1 save, please.
I think that was a mistake.
Alright.
The 2 wounds.
Yeah, just pass it.
Cool. You pass it.
So
and
I
then
think
3 more attacks from the little
Sergeant
sorcerer.
Crusader could have forced an addition.
That's gonna all hit. And then all wound again.
And Celestine's taken no damage so far. Oh my god.
Yep.
Cool. So
Okay.
D3.
Oh no, not like this, chat.
That's going to be 4 damage on Celestine that you need to take Fin of Paints for.
Take 3.
I believe that these models are
Ones.
in the Force Horde
Sure.
mod.
It's the 2 and then the 3.
Okay.
Okay, well, devastating
Sure.
And then the 3.
did do a little bit of
Sure.
damage, which is something.
Celestine dies.
Hey, she did go down. The Gemini Superior is still there,
No.
making everybody's lives miserable. But that actually means that Assassination is not a good draw
Her
this
friend
turn.
dies.
Instead of
No.
being
No.
solid, so
do you mean?
that's
This I just resolved
curious.
all the devastating damage. There's no spillover.
Yeah, but your friends die, right? When
No.
the Gemini don't die? No?
No.
Okay. Cool.
yeah, that's 9th edition
the-
rules. 9th edition, Celestine went down, the Gemini
Yeah,
died.
some-
10th edition,
So it doesn't-
they're just models.
Um,
They just hang
cool.
out.
So we'll go on to my turn, I guess.
All right, folks.
Right, so we'll do that.
You can
Well-
consolidate with green. Yep. Or whichever squad that was that attacks again. Green.
Yeah.
So that is 5 for secure, and
Mhm.
sabotage is ongoing.
Very good.
Doesn't look like anything's going to be able to stop that sabotage.
Generate 1 miracle for the start of my turn.
But the difference in unit count here is pretty impressive.
I get 2 things: cleanse, extend battle. Extend battle lines is hold 1. Sure. And
Hold
cleanse
home,
is-
hold 1.
Oh, extend battle lines and cleanse. Okay, that was a good draw for Sergeant Crusader. Yeah, so I think he just has to play super passive right here and hope that he gets that scoring bump on the bottom of 5.
Sure, of course.
Pushing super far forward will just get him counterpunched by a ton of shooting and rip him off the table. The Sister's gun line, I think, is too strong for her to contend with right now.
It's pretty annoying.
But extend battle lines is an automatic success at this position. He can, again, I think he can, he might have the Cabal points.
Pick up.
He's playing with 4,
That was a
8,
12-inch charge that
10,
made my day.
14, yeah.
Made me extremely
To play, to
do
try to
that.
Doombolt, I think, away the Dominion Superior, and then
You could bring a tank over.
just hide everything.
These
And I
ladies,
think
the
that
most
that's
they
one
can
thing he
do
can
is
do. He can score a nice, cheerful 7-point turn, retain his scenario lead,
Anywhere.
and force Ash to push more stuff to the center of the table, although Ash will complete her sabotage, although it's only a small sabotage this turn.
Sure.
He does have to worry about the Demonifuge this turn. That's one thing to consider, although Ash doesn't have the greatest drops. I think maybe in this corner might be where those models want to stand
14, 15.
in order to push onto the objective here and maybe
it's,
take out the Fatecaster unit.
These dice, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever that adds up to.
He can, I think, play a little aggressively with the Zangors. They can't move through this wall, but they can kind of use the wall to screen out as long as they're not chargeable through the wall. And then if Ephrael jumps in and tries to push into them, they can react to move farther back to force a miracle charge.
Come over here.
I don't know if Ephrael kills that entire unit,
Kill Magna.
especially because the Zangor Shaman's giving them a field opening.
That'll be a challenge. But also that means I can shoot at that and kill that. Bring the tank out. Again, moves to 18. I don't think that makes a tangible difference. Got 2 CP, so we could still indirect. We've run out of Infernal Masters, which is sad for me, obviously. For you, it's very happy days.
I mean, there's a reason I've been hitting them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the dice have been quite on point, and also your strategy's been quite on point, so not complaining here. I think if I want to use a free strat, that just leaves me with a remove armor save, which sure about that one, or something sillier. These ladies are doing.
Be right back. Just keep talking.
Yeah, these ladies are doing sabotage, aren't they? These. So, is there a world in which they don't fit in here? What did I get again? I got Thingy and Cleanse. Shame my cultists are dead, but here we are.
That Infernal Master Living would have been like absolutely transformative to this game.
Love to kill
right
the
now,
collectors.
I think that's almost certainly a dead castigator to Magnus's shooting that we would have seen if that Infernal Master had lived. That charge was so boss for Ash. I think if you could choose one boxcar's charge to plug in this game, that would have been the one to do.
You actually can't see through it. Well, that could start to get interesting.
No.
Yeah, I'm still thinking like my whole turn options and all that. I think the problem is standing here helps who? Not really anyone. But this guy's just annoying.
He's annoying. He's doing his job.
Quite, yeah. Could do a double move and that helps. Which Which part of my army does that help? Not really any. I think it's easier to just try and shoot that. So trade that tank out of the way. Take that out of the way. And he moves 7. Yeah, that turn 1 was very annoying because I was trying to hide and I was pretty sure you couldn't turn the corner, but somehow you did. But it is fine. It's part of the game. I think there's a fair number of points on both sides. It's just harder to resolve than one would think. And I'm all tied up here, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me. I think your chances to kill Magnus are pretty slim right now. Just your Malthus here, which could be a problem, but honestly, I'm not sure it is.
I don't know about terms of points, but in terms of material, I'm a bit behind. But I think I'm quite. No, in terms of material, I'm happy with the position. I think I'm ahead in position, but I'm behind. I'm definitely behind on material. But that's fine. That's what sisters do. Just trade.
Yeah.
Ash thinks she's behind on material. It's just 3 castigators and a Paragon Warsuit squad. It has killed 2 Infernal Masters. I don't know if I don't know about that take, chat. That's a controversial take right there.
Can't pitch for a seat.
Very pessimistic outlook at the how the game has been working out so far.
Don't move some chickens.
Sisters are wild. Yeah, I like that you can look at this deployment zone and be like, you know what?
So then at least
I think I'm losing. Oh, okay. It's so funny.
So we could certainly.
You have to Magnus is kind of blanked right now by the Paragon Warsuits. You really can't commit Magnus while the Paragon Warsuits are still active in the game.
And just park them somewhere here, and that becomes very chunky. So you have to move like 40.
Because they can just drill so much damage into him as soon as he's out in the open.
Sure.
Unless he spikes wildly on his saving throws, they're probably going to hit him for
possibly
most of his health, if not just kill him.
But I guess once these guys have fallen back and moved.
Always be motivated. That's true, Jen. If you always think you're losing, you're always gonna put your best strategies together. Try to get that W.
We'll still do +2 move with Magnus. I don't think he's getting shot a lot next turn based on the board state. I could be wrong. And then that allows these guys to move 7 here. 7.
The Demonifuge is in reserve for sisters.
These
Thousand Suns have nothing in reserve right now. They are all on the table.
Really
so we're pushing this Rubric squad.
Anything helpful? I'd love.
Which is interesting. I guess we're maybe trying to kill the Calexis Assassin with Flamers. I guess they can kill the Calexis and the Dominion Superior. Sort of by themselves. We could also push them to get that second objective on for cleanse too.
Good luck to me.
A couple different options.
He can.
All of which will be worth points.
Actually, I can put people here. I could put chickens. I could trade the chickens for Arman. Arman's unit is not going to do much this turn.
I think Ahriman ends up being kind of the round 5 threat.
Magnus here.
I think what Sergeant Crusader wants to do is to keep that unit so it can sort of force itself down the sister's throat on the bottom of round 5 and hold at least 2 or 3 objectives,
which is
at
not
that
a
point.
lot. And then these ladies can come here and stand somewhere here anyway, right? So that's.
I'm not really sure that the Paragons
They'll
are
all have line of sight on Magnus.
Yeah, and
They will all have range on Magnus.
Yeah, they'll move 17, and they'll all have range on Magnus. Sure. because the back one moves.
Yeah, it's maybe a little dangerous
well.
in that spot.
And that goes there as well. Yeah, that's not a good plan, is it? Take this back a sec. So that's not a good plan at all. He's obviously, yeah, not touching that. Yeah. Oh yeah. The challenges of this is annoying.
Yeah, Marvin Ball is definitely
Now that you've got 400 points, your trade stand
terrifying.
against my 400 points or so. Well, 370.
Yeah, but that's not how you win the game, because you got
Yeah.
a model that could swing more damage than it's worth, right? So that's the challenge here. And these guys have actually, you know, they can't, so they can move 5 here, and they can get the Doom Bolt there, so that's fine. I just need to find a way to block the movement. But as soon as I do that, these guys can't move far enough unless Magnus is already there. Guess. No, I think. So you advance here, and what happens? You stand on an objective, and there's 10 flamers looking at you.
It does seem like Sergeant Crusader's feeling the pressure of not
be fine.
not getting his value right now. I
Let's
do
try.
think
I think I made a couple of mistakes in the deployment. I just
one thing he has to
back too far.
yeah,
Was a bit too
and
close.
I'm wondering if his Thousand Suns are almost always going to trade down
And
into these sisters units. They're just so efficient. I think he has to force Ash like into the fight with him, and I don't know if the way to do that is by picking up like individual castigators.
So I think these guys then.
I guess there is the potential that we can put Aramon into a very aggressive position, kind of in this area.
A beautiful line.
Where these castigators can't get a good line to them, and then if you can pull this castigator off,
Well, I
then
realized
you
that Armin
are.
was technically visible because he's fucking tall. You just never shot him.
Oh yeah. He can go on high.
So then you're kind of pulling the other two castigators out of the fight. It's a little unfortunate that there is the aspiring sorcerer. Or the Rubric Marine unit in the center here would be in danger of those castigators, because then they would be sort of returned into the fight. Do you have 2 CP available for
So with
Thousand Suns? And I guess the
here, not
idea would be to bump Magnus's range and grant him rerolls.
an Araman in the objective.
So not pushing for a
back. And line here to see the collectors with the bows.
He's low now.
He's low now. Fucking hell.
Since I'm low now.
Yeah, sorry. Well, that's a moot point, isn't it? So then these chickens are just gonna.
Yeah, I would have mentioned it earlier, but you said you were trying to get line of sight on the castigator, so.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll forget that. He's low now.
Alright, so yeah, I guess we're just trying to kind of refuse flank these castigator shots. I don't think the castigators get a good line of sight, but the Paragon Warsuits definitely could potentially be engaged. And the Paragons do also
probably
do some serious damage to the rubrics over here as well.
I
wonder if there's a line to the green unit from the castigators.
Okay, so
maybe
then
not.
we go on to. So we moved everything. We have to move
Hold up.
everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna rapid ingress. Looks like.
If you double move them, you can only get 2 past 3 to get line of sight across here.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we're dropping the Ephrail, Stern, and Kaiganel over here.
Yeah, I'm done.
Flip time to them. Right, spend a CP, ingress Kaiganel once done.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, the Demonifuge, since we're so insistent on that being the name now.
And this being a line of sight blocker for them means that they're going to get an easy miracle charge through the ruin.
Which that I can.
That's a curious place for them for the rubrics here, because it does mean that Aramon is kind of in grave danger.
Charge. Yep.
That unit can't fall back and operate, so unless you
Kaiganel.
Doom Bolt away Ephrail and Kaiganel, which is
Be a bit
difficult to do, they're probably going to be engaged that coming turn. Unless things can go really well for Sergeant Crusader. They do hit fairly hard in melee, so they can maybe do enough damage to get a Doom Bolt the next turn, but that does sort of keep the Flamer Brick in line. It looks like we are moving
Choose this.
these dudes into the center.
And that's it. That lets me do the Doom Bolt onto the...
Oh yeah, but these guys aren't shooting this turn because they fell back from the Gemini Superior.
For Doom Bolt, I'll keep 3. This game's going down the toilet very quickly. Cool. So, D3 plus 3. Oh, sorry, that was 6. Yeah, sorry. 5 is 6 damage on the Castigator.
5 is a 6.
It's 5. Sorry, no, sorry. It's I roll and then I have to roll again. Sorry, it's 4 damage. 4 damage. 4 damage.
Okay.
Okay, I rolled the 1.
Why didn't he line the wall with the Zangors? I'm not sure, chat.
Cool. And then we'll.
I think you, to be honest, I might have forgotten.
Magnus to get range and
the
full
Demonifuse
rerolls.
drop there.
Let's do it. We're blowing our... And the chickens are going to do the cleanse.
Because I think he was expecting to try to kill the Calexis Assassin with the Fatecasters.
Got 2s.
Instead of using them for utility, so...
4s? Wow.
Maybe put them in a less useful position.
So 3 AP2.
Okay. So I definitely have cover.
I suspect.
There isn't. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll 2 first. So these are 4-ups.
Yep. Cool.
And I will take a 5. So I take 3 damage.
Sure. And then the blast gun. 6 shots. This game's going down the toilet so quickly. It's very funny. And then just looking for 6s here. My God, Jesus Christ. Not a single 6 with Magnus. Cool. So 2 damage and 2 saves.
Alright.
Alright.
Can we see a failed save on the Castigator? It has already miracled.
2 3-ups.
There you go.
Man, and the Castigator lives. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know if this was the play, chat.
Armand squad fires on the...
Yikes.
You want me to
She's
roll
dead.
it out?
That was unfortunate. Armand does kill the model in the middle, so that is... I guess it wouldn't have made a
I'll
huge
just
difference
get
there because she was already
Extend. Oh,
contested.
2 for cleanse. I don't think I need CB for anything. So.
But oh boy, I think this is looking pretty good for sisters in this situation. We'll see if maybe our Demon Prince Stealth Aura can save the Flamer unit from taking too much damage here. But it looks to me like Thousand Suns are about to lose a bunch of models for not too many. Not too much loss.
Not necessarily, but it's fine.
Lost a single.
I mean, if you want to put him back and take this guy, I'm fine.
A single.
I don't think this unit took damage either, right? Because they
It
were
did.
only...
Yeah, they got
You only
flamethrower.
fought-
No. She had to fight. She could only fight green.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Stupid positioning.
Yeah, Inferno Master. Sure, sustain 1. Sure, she's dead.
That's where all the 6s went to kill each other. Superior.
And generate a miracle for 6.
And there's a 6 in the miracle pool too. Oh, that's so brutal. That's so disgusting. Yeah, I mean, the hope here is that the counterpunch underswings dramatically. I don't know if I like this aggressive push from Sergeant Crusader quite as much.
So I can't move him. We're just gonna stay put, I guess.
Because I think
Okay, start a battle.
things are about to look really bad for them.
Keep the same.
It was probably a likely thing that Magnus knocked out the Castigator. They did literally 1/6. One additional 6 out of like those 20 dice or whatever he rolled.
6s.
Cover 15 dice and
Storm Hostile.
Didn't get it.
Very
So
easy.
Storm Hostile is very doable. Recover assets.
But that is brutal.
I score 3 for sabotage.
Yes.
Recover assets is a bit harder, but still very doable, I guess. I guess it's 3 points. And then I've got some battle shocks to take. I've got 1 battle shock to take.
Storm Hostile, recover assets are the draws for Ash. 2 really good draws. She's
Whatever.
the center objective has been taken, so she's going to take that one back very easily. I imagine she might commit the Immolator at this point.
Fucked it. Okay, I tried to pick up the battle shock token and it just flew off the board. I have no idea what.
This will be a
what's
tough,
happening there.
tough game from now on, I think, for me. But
It could be Armand, or it could be Magnusdad. Yeah, we'll see what Ash wants to do with the Paragon Warsuits.
all my colors.
Look at this miracle pool, chat.
Uh,
The Triumph of St.
the
Catherine
board.
is all good. It's totally fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine. So we do have a potential. That's a 17-inch move off the Paragon
To
Warsuits.
commit turn.
So they could just run to the middle of the table
Goodbye.
and try to get shots onto Magnus. It is long-range shots, but still good.
What's my charge into Araman?
Although I don't know if Magnus is minus.
it is.
Oh, I guess he
I think
almost assuredly flips to the minus damage at the beginning of this turn. He was plus movement last turn, but this is a new power round, so he gets to turn on his impossible form. Ephraim and Kagino pushing forward to engage the flamers after the shooting.
9 off the
I think for sure that
Zengors.
Aramond's unit dies to the
Lexus has to stay
Castigator.
put because
Almost certainly.
He might die.
The
to flamers.
Thangors will move slightly back. Just so they can-
I'm not I stayed out of reactive move range.
I don't think so.
Sorry, I've only got it on
the
this
aura
guy.
is, yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll move him a bit back. I mean, I said I wanted to stay out of it.
That's fine. Yep. If you say it, that's fine. Yep.
Let me see where. Battle shot. Yeah. Okay, no wonder it disappeared. They just flew to the other side of the building somehow. 6, 8. That's 14. 14. 17.
Is the play against Sisters to snipe down the Triumph early? If you can,
19.
it's huge. I think if the Sisters player is letting you kill the Triumph of St. Catherine early enough in the game for it to matter,
It's early.
you probably don't need the help to beat them, to be fair. The Triumph's very difficult to kill. She's got a 4+ invulnerable save and 18 wounds and probably a 6+ feel no pain on top of that, so you're really trying to get through like 21 or 22 wounds with a 4+ invuln. And Miracle Dice on top of that. So one single activation is unlikely to kill it from almost anything. And it doesn't really need to be in a super aggressive position. It can be hiding behind some mid-board terrain. If you can kill it early, that's great, but it's very difficult to kill.
Minus.
Sure.
So sight on the Demon Prince as well if I need it.
Sure.
So it's kind of useless to shoot the Demon Prince. Hold on. Wait. That was 7 to the corner. So that was 10. I've got 2 more inches. Let me think.
A casual 19-inch
Magnus'
move.
line of sight.
On a Castigator.
Yeah, so I
19 inches,
Well,
Jeff.
it's not really.
It's how do you prevent them
do
from
need
getting
to
line
go
of
through
sight?
that.
You just have to hide.
Right.
You have to hide all game. Hope that your
no,
opponent
the red line is corner to
pushes too far forward. Uses that 19-inch movement in a
it is
overly aggressive posture.
yeah, then draw back. It's there. So he is just past. She has just passed it. All right.
Run forward and kill the
Double
Triumph.
it.
Stand awkwardly in front of the whole Sisters Army. Yeah, the downside obviously there is that, like, if you can trade one thing for the Triumph, you're probably happy, but it will take so much effort to kill it,
half.
and it's going to be so far back that you likely, if your opponent gives you the opportunity, you have to commit way more than the Triumph is worth.
6.5,
And that just feels bad.
11.5 because of pivot. Stopping here, just barely touching the thing.
Sure.
This Castigator is going to stay put. We're going to advance with Val and Friends, taking a 6.
Sure.
Oh. The camera just went wild. 17.
There's the Paragon Warsuit movement.
I need
Let's go! 17 inches. Bringers of the flame, chat, everybody. They're bringing the flame directly into your deployment zone by moving a really far long distance.
Where's 18 of Magnus? All the way back there.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Sergeant Crusader took that turn so aggressively. I do think that he could have kind of forced the game into this stalemate, But maybe he's identifying the fact that the
Some amount less.
attrition will eventually
Or it.
kind of end in Sister's favor because they will always have the first opportunity to attack.
Then
And if he can force the fight here, and it goes poorly for Ash.
I either take enough melters out that it matters, but you save on a 2-up, right? So I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna have to soak it up.
Oh,
See.
sorry. Gotta smoke this one back.
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I'm a bit out of the game currently, as it sounds. I think you had one too many pieces to trade back. I think that I committed resources to keeping the orange unit alive, and you managed to roll the 12, and that I think cost me more than, because that unit could have done indirect and could have done different things. So it was just unfortunate.
That 12-inch charge was
and
nuts.
then-
That might have been the 12-inch charge for the Invitational for sure, almost.
Josh.
Because that Infernal Master living there would have been so useful. Not only is he a good sort of action monkey in the center, but he also turns on a really aggressive warp sight onto, and you probably get a castigator for
Hostile is already acquired. Simply
for that. That was huge.
And
You basically could have taken the turn off and just indirect fired something to death and then called it a day and given away the Infernal Master for basically nothing.
Shock test at -2 on them. If you fail, you take 3 mortal wounds.
Efriel's Thorn Kaganil.
Do you not need to see them, or you do see them?
I set up to see the
Sure.
little
Sure.
tip of his thing.
Battle shock, 7. Take it. 3 mortal wounds. Yeah.
If I need to nudge him, I will. If I need to nudge her, I will nudge her. But
I've killed 2 guys. You've got this, Leo. Don't worry about it. Just roll the dice, kill Magnus, and we can.
Okay, so like Immolator shooting everything at Magnus.
Sure.
Wait. Sorry, did I not move this? I did not. Can I get within 24? I cannot. Alright, doesn't matter. Immolator. Am I within 18? No. Multi-melters go here, the rest of the shots go at Magnus.
Sure.
Multi-melter.
The Infernal Master, the Umbrillific Crystal Infernal Master had pushed the center of the table. The rubrics got clipped out by heavy bolter shooting.
Yeah, one.
And then the Infernal Master was able to Glimpse of Eternity, reroll, and damage blank to live on 2 wounds.
Hunter Killer.
So there was an Infernal Master just sort of sitting in the middle of the Sisters' army, and the only thing that could reasonably charge it was the Calexis Assassin on an 11, and he just made it. He just raw dogged it with his first swing and killed him.
No.
Had that model survived, it would have been huge, though.
Okay.
Because of their bolters, and it matters a lot for Val.
The bolter? Oh, for Merlin.
No, for Val.
Sure.
Yeah. The Castigator shooting everything at Magnus.
Sure.
So the autocannons. On 5s, twin linked. AP.
Oh, he's dead, right? There's no. Yeah, takes 3.
3 damage.
Yeah. Because I haven't put the -1 damage either, so he's ultra dead.
Yep.
For sure.
And then the heavy bolters. The state for sustained, 1 save.
And this is 3 ups. Okay, cool. 2 damage.
Yeah, 3 up.
Yeah.
Hunter Killer. Hits. Wounds.
Yeah, sure. Damage 6, I guess.
Just 1.
Just 1.
This Castigator at the back is going to shoot him. The
Does this Castigator have line of sight?
autocannon. We met to the wing. Yeah. That's what this blue line is. Oh.
It's fine, Joey. She declared it. She had movement to
Yeah, I had lots of movement.
Don't worry.
I can just scoot here.
Don't worry about it. It's ending soon. I know just to be fair, but like it
Extremely generous line of sight there.
the damage from the turn.
Is the wing can be
2 hits.
the line of sight can't be traced into a terrain feature that Magnus is not touching. So the wing being within this terrain feature is actually out of line of sight of the Castigator right now, because it extends back behind Magnus.
Nothing. Hunter Killer. Hits, and that's not 1. Alright. This one's done.
They're both done, right? I can see. So
Yeah, this one's just shooting.
Yeah.
Just shooting there.
Sure,
And plus the Q Lexus between the 2 of them, they should pick it up. Morven's unit shooting everything here. Discard a 1 to power up.
Yep.
So we start with the Meltas.
So 6 damage at Magnus from the
3s because plus
Castigator, and then we're going to see what the Meltas can do.
and 4s. Rerolling. 4 saves.
4 save.
Heavy Bolter is so insane.
Because it's Melter.
Strength 6 plus 1 to wound,
Yeah,
AP
so
2,
12
Nor
points for
cover.
a reroll.
Okay.
But, so I'll use the reroll here.
Full rerolls and sustain.
Still goes through. So
Good stuff, chat.
So that's the first one. 4 damage.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. I save it.
Sisters
Third one.
kind of feel a little bit like
1. I
9th edition Tyranids, but after all of like the stupid
yeah,
encircle the
like
priest
it.
stuff got
Yeah.
nerfed. Like before they saw sort of all the Malice Scepter hits and
Morven's
things.
big gun.
There was a period in there where
And
Tyranids weren't
plus
That's
the uppy downy faction,
plus 1.
but that were just dramatically more
one
efficient
sustained.
than everything else in the game. And that is kind of what the Sisters Codex feels
Plus
like
1
right
to
now.
wound
And we are kind of watching that happen.
for herself.
There's basically no trade that Thousand Suns make that is positive for them in this mission.
Then
I do think that Sergeant Crusader had to play super cagey here because I don't think that at any point if he moves out into the open he's just going to lose all his assets and gain nothing. I think he has to force the Sisters into this fight, but not actually give them a good
and
target
take a 6.
to
Yeah,
be able to snipe out. And there's Magnus. dead,
GG. I think we could call it now. We don't need to drag this
Yeah.
on, do we?
yeah.
If he lived, maybe we could flip it around. But no, I think I had a couple of turns. I just didn't swing it around.
Yeah.
So I was ready to lose this game, and I'm very happy I did. It was a good lessons learned against Sisters.
So I think there's the call it,
struggle a lot with.
and that is Ash. As our first seed into the Invitational and the eventual winner of the Invitational, our T5S2 Season 8
Go
champion. Good game to both these players. We'll get some thoughts from the players real here at the end. If anybody has any questions for the players, please throw them into the chat
Okay.
for our breakdown.
Maybe I could swing a score. Like the score probably would be. Maybe I'd be able to make it tighter, but just like because now our man's unit can try and flamer and whatever, but we just don't. Like there's no coming back from this, considering that you can now charge with FL and Kegio, so you kill a load of those as well, and that even Princes don't have to kill all of this. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. I think I'll call it here. Thanks, Trev, for streaming.
Yeah. Thank you, you too. Ash, congratulations on becoming our Season 8 champion.
Thank you. 5 seasons. 5 seasons. Took 5 seasons to pick the second one.
There you go.
Was good. I think I completely misjudged the tank. I thought it couldn't get that far. I don't know why.
I think what you did was you measured 18 because it started out of the triumph range, but then I moved the triumph to get it in range.
I just didn't expect the sorcerer to get shot. That's all. Like I didn't mind the rest getting shot, but the sorcerer that was very painful. That's a
the immolator on turn 1.
It was having the sorcerer here. I thought he was safe enough.
Right.
Apparently he wasn't.
And it was just out.
I think it was just a combination of like there was no reason to have him here. I thought he was far enough, and he wasn't. I actually had looked at the maps and that, and I thought, well, you had to go diagonally and then straight, so I didn't think you had the movement to squeeze the tank onto it, and then. But clearly,
That is true, Jeff. The Castigator movement
couldn't get
it's kind of
it's always going to be a turn 1 either way, right?
flabbergastingly
Turn
long.
1, then you can put that pressure. So if I got turn 1, I could build up my CP, and then it just becomes a harder game for you, and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure.
So this was always going to be whoever goes first wins, with a high percentage chance, because you've got the alpha, but you can't do the alpha turn 2 because you don't gain that 6 inches of movement that are very crucial to your alpha strike on this map.
To be fair, I think that the follow-up, if the Calexis hadn't box cards to charge there, or else you need 11, right? I think that the follow-up would have been probably pretty phenomenal, because you basically get a Castigator for free without giving up anything. You trade the 1 Infernal Master squad for two units. You get Celestine and the Castigator. And that's suddenly I think the pressure.
You can grenade the Calexis as well with the Infernal Master.
If you can get him into a position, right? I guess he would have to move, which is a little dangerous. I think a Castigator might Overwatch, right? if he moves.
Well, no one could see him, right? I think it was this guy here, but he was out of line.
Oh, could he not?
Guy.
Well, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So, but anyway, yeah, like
He could also shoot his bolt pistol. He has a bolt pistol.
He can also double move after the shooting, after the move.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Do that, then throw a grenade. Yeah, I think it was just a couple of moments.
Yeah, I guess there is also the potential that you could even get into the Paragons, right? With if you warp sight and like superpower Magnus.
Yes.
And if he clips 2 or 3 Paragons with
You
devastating,
double move.
the game's
double
flipped
move
on its
into the
head.
terrain.
Yeah.
You double move into the terrain.
Yeah.
And then you see them. You throw a grenade, and then Magnus. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
I think to be honest, I think that the game was phenomenally close up to that point. I think the 11-inch charge basically clinched it.
I think as well it was a mistake to put I had to mix the 2 units here to get range onto Sunstein's unit. It's just such a crazy sort of, there's like an 18-inch move here that you can't really stop. And it's
there's also a danger there too, right? Like if Ash rolled a 9 on that charge, then suddenly it looks a lot weirder.
Yeah. She has to.
I think like basing happens like maybe over here, so you probably can still dodge the heroic intervention, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
I just needed not to have that purple guy in the middle of the green unit, and that would have been fine. Which is sort of what I was trying to achieve. Just block the purple unit from being engaged. Yeah. But she could fly, so she could also put a 6 and fly over and just still kill him, right? Like if that's because. Purple Inferno Master is still here. You don't throw the unit away. You go back behind the ruin. All this stuff comes out, and then you go, cool. Let's find out if I can take it out with Inferno Masters. And I think you still have some chance because you're winning on 3s rerolling. No, I think it's just there was a couple of points they decided it. I think turn 1 losing 3 Cabal points.
And load of Forbidden Lore. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lord of Forbidden Lore, which is a second source of Doombolt. I think it was pretty good. I don't see how I play it differently, other than just like keep things further back. So keep the sorcerer back here. But yeah, I think if I went first, the trade was the other way, right? Then she can't get the vehicle down here that fast because it needed the extra 6 to get down here. The different 6 inches is from here to back here. Does that mean?
Well, the 6 is always there, right? Because
but it's the scout.
No, and then the scout 6.
Yeah. So if I go first, I get the chance to stockpile my shit, and then just go.
Yeah. I think I think it's hard because I think you're out deployed, right? So the emulator always goes last and gets to go wherever it wants.
Yes. Yeah.
But like there is the possibility that you could push.
I looked at this map all day today. I knew the emulator was going there. That wasn't a surprise. What was a surprise is that I thought this corner was enough.
Understood. Yeah. Did you think about putting the cultists in this position and then trying to use the block?
They couldn't block because it's the deployment is weird, right? So I checked it. You can't the cultists, if you deploy them here, they can only go to the wall. So you can't prevent the vehicle from moving in. You can prevent the disembark or whatever if you want. But then
the disembark is what killed your Lord of Forbidden Lore, though.
Yes, arguably I think it could. So my thought was that the tank couldn't get there.
You can get one guy across.
I didn't think you could. I thought it was just because of the
base
is 1 inch.
If I get rid of this pillar, and he goes exactly 6, he clears.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but that's still enough. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just measured it wrong.
I would definitely have gotten the Zangor, but I wouldn't have gotten a lot of Forbidden Lore.
That's a dear trade for a Zangor, to be fair to you. And I guess you get the cultists like for free, but
yeah, I mean, again, it's not so much the Lord of Forbidden Lore is the ability to threaten Ash's army the same way that hers threatens mine.
Right.
So she can threaten me 36 inches away. Morven Vials behind a building, and next turn she's shooting into my deployment zone. I need to be able to do that 2 turns in a row, which means that I need the guys on disc to function.
Yeah.
Which is why I put them fairly back, but I couldn't stop that. I knew there was I knew going first this wasn't gonna. Oh, sorry, going second wasn't going to work, and you had to either accept the counter punch, so let the flamer unit come into you and do the crazy stuff it does, which it would. or try and kill it and see if you can swing that back somehow. And that's what I tried, and it almost worked. I think it was very close. I think the anti-psycho tech helped a lot. This sort of devastating wounds and shooting or whatever, mental, or 2+2+. So I think, would I play those units? Not really. They seem a downgrade on the list. I think, maybe Araman in reserves would have been better. I don't think they did that much. I think
was there? Did you ever consider this turn? Sort of bottom of 2, I guess. You had pretty good secondaries, right? Because you had clans extend battle lines.
Yeah.
Which you score without doing anything. Was there the consideration that you just stand everybody where they are and
but then I
just like pull out the flavors
I
back
let
to
the
here?
miracle dice. I let the miracle dice keep building up.
Sure.
And he needed the miracle dice to move the tanks here. So I was forcing 6s to move in order to then get less 6s to shoot. That was so I thought, well, like maybe I can swing it, and it was close, right? Magnus died on the last 6, so he died by 2 wounds. So to be fair, that wasn't like crazy talk. Like on different days, maybe he lives, maybe he doesn't. But if he lives here, I can pick up this reliably. Whether they charge here or not is irrelevant.
No,
and
they absolutely charge no matter what happens.
Yeah,
that's auto in.
But you have a chance in the game. But the problem is I dropped a couple of characters too soon. This army suffers when you drop cabal points for no reason. You need to trade cabal points for points. So if I lose cabal points, you should be losing more points. On an exponential level, and if it's not happening, then you lose, and that's exactly what happened. So
yeah, to be fair, the Celestine play over here, right? I had a 6, which is why I was holding back 1 die. I just needed to naturally roll 1 6. It turns out I naturally rolled 2 6s, but odds are reasonable that I get 1 6, and then I plug in the second just.
Yeah, the charge was happening. No, but if it was worse if you had all the flamers, because then you get the flamers.
Oh, for sure. Then I pick up one unit, it's from flamers, and then charge and kill most of the other one.
So it's challenging so far as like the managing the threat ranges from like this building, and there's such an opportunity to, because you've got such like 1 turn speed where you can just roll a 6 for an advance, means that you can do this and you can do it with your entire army. So the longer I let you do that, the worse it gets for me, because I can't kill your tank. And the only reason I can't it gets worse is because I don't have the sorcerer on this, and I don't have the chicken to sacrifice to kill a tank. Because if I have the chicken to sacrifice, or like this tank dies, which shockingly Magnus didn't roll a single 6, re-rolling everything, which is cool. But if this tank dies, and then you're having indirect, so the previous turn you're being able to pick another tank. Now this becomes more dicey. Maybe Magnus with -1 damage also helps. I didn't put it because I didn't think it was worth you committing, because it seemed quite a high risk play. But it was certainly the way to win the game for sure. That was.
If this tank died, this battle cannon would have rolled over here instead. I had the movement for it.
Yeah, you have you just have the ability to swing the models so fast is very good, and the miracle dice mean reliability. So when you need it, it matters. So it's not. It's good. It's good. I think we played a pretty tight game. I'm happy with it. I'm not sure I could have done much on that turn 1 other than just ultra pre-measure it, because I knew it was going there. There's no better place for it, because it can just scoot back behind the wall and it's safe, or it can scout 6 inches forward and cause problems, and then you can decide if it goes behind here, or it goes forward, or it goes wherever. So this was always going to be a sort of challenging play, if you like. That was always going to be and if you don't roll right, you were hitting on, I think the 4 meltas shooting at that guy, you were hitting on 4s and then winning on 2s, so 2 go through, and then I save on 4s, so on average you don't kill him either. I just managed to fail 3 saves in a row. I think I had to blank.
But
So.
no, you failed. I had pushed through 2. You failed the first one. You rerolled it into. No, you didn't reroll it. You blanked it.
No,
Yeah,
blanked
one
it,
got
and
blanked,
then
and then one went
yeah.
through.
You blanked
Yeah,
it, and then
so
you failed the second one.
I also got a bit
Failed
unlucky
2
there
saves,
because
Yeah,
You needed 1 out of
failed
2.
yeah.
that,
He failed the
you know,
75% because he only needs to fail. He needs to fail all both. He needs to fail twice to die,
yeah, and that's what he did, right?
and so that's a 25% chance.
So that was that, and then the I think the collectors here not enabling my army to engage on your half of the table, then sealed the deal because it forced Magnus.
Yeah, there's also like there's an interesting component with Celestine too, right? Because if Celestine doesn't roll any natural 6s on her attack into the Arcane Vortex, there's a non-zero chance she just doesn't kill him. Because
Well, I had the dice on the CP, right? So the only reason he died was actually
it was because of the devastation. Yeah.
yeah.
Celestine,
It was
right.
the 2 devastating.
She needed 1 natural 6, right? Because then the other one can get miracled. But,
Yeah,
This
I
was
only
like
needed 1 natural
the epic moment of Celestine going, "You killed."
but it's 5 dice and you need 1 6, right? So it's like,
Yep.
And then otherwise there's a chance that he lives. I don't know if it's not 100%, but obviously, it's
sure, yeah.
it's much more likely.
Yeah, no, Celestine swinging 2 6s is pretty.
Yeah, I think part of it's miracle dice making things happen, but I do think that if the sisters needed something to happen, it did happen. This game was from the outside perspective is certainly what it looked like.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna try and do this. Oh yes, it worked. I'm gonna try and do this. Yes, it worked. But that's the beauty of sisters, I think. You like obviously the collectors has nothing to do with it, but in general, you can swing luck where it matters.
Right.
But yes, Celestine, I wish she had to use a miracle dice, because then it means one of these units don't get where they were positioned, right? So that's one less thing threatening me, because they can't use a 6. They need to roll it, right? That's not the same.
Yeah, this castigator wouldn't have been in position. Well, it would have been. I needed a 4 to get in there, I think, or a 5. Either 4 or 5 to get to this point.
It's all little minutia. I think also when you get to games like this where it's, maybe not speaking for myself, but like very, very high level of play, it's like at some point it just comes down to luck, right? Like both players know enough about the lists that it's not, oh, I forgot about your rules or whatever. It's I just got slightly better hand. And you got excellent secondaries on turn 1 as well, right? Which was a massive help. It's like, in case you need encouragement to come and kill my models, it's like, here's like
there's no prisoners.
Yeah, it's like,
that was very good. The
other thing that really mattered was that even though these 2 rolls didn't generate me any miracles, because between both of them, I have a decent chance of generating a natural 6.
Yeah.
I did roll a natural 6 for the advance, so I didn't have to plug the 6 for the free reroll. So I had the 6 available here to nuke him.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like I always think, like against sisters, you always risk it. And when I saw the table, I was a bit worried. I played this. This was the game I lost against Knights, and I've actually lost 3 games in a row now on this table. So clearly, I just don't know how to play this layout. But maybe I just don't understand it. I'm not sure.
Well, I can tell you the first time I played this layout against Thousand Suns, what happened was in the first 4 turns, we each lost a grand total of 250 points, plus minus about 30 points, and then in the last turn, we both lost 1,000 points.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, probably yes. It feels very standoffish, and it seems like if I can't imagine playing here like Advanced and Charged Blood Angels or something, like fuck, like they just park behind the wall and you go, oops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is what happened in the group finals that played this map. That was the Group C finals. It was Chaos Knights, just packed 2 knights and 2 knights, and then passed the turn. It was pretty brutal. Yeah. Definitely
it's
interesting positions. Although I do think this is obviously pre-update terrain. These are going to shrink quite a bit, and I do think that does change. It dramatically changes how defensive they are.
now I lose even worse because now I don't have the flamers as indirect, so killing that unit is no longer an option.
Yeah, that's true.
So now the way you end up swinging the list is what a lot of people are doing on like WTC style maps, where you start putting like 30 cultists in a line and go, cool, yeah, come and find me, and it just you sort of cultist jail for a turn or whatever. I just don't like cultists. So I play 10 only because they give me.
I love my cultists. We're opposite ends of the spectrum there. I don't leave home without 30 of those fuckers.
But it's just a
10 cultists. I understand why you don't like them. It's such a pain in the ass to build.
yeah, well, I've tried to convert them as well because I use a 30k themed Thousand Suns army, all painted, sort of converted from 30k models and that. So, and using 40k ones as well. So then the cultists just look just absolutely rubbish because there's no tentacles, no nothing. They're all very clean Thousand Sun models, and then you've got guys with spikes and it's like, fuck. Why are you doing in this army? Like, you should be reading a book, you know? It's very civilized.
You gotta get some Prosperine Spire Guard in there.
I tried to make some with one of the kill teams or whatever, and the end result was not very pleasing. The idea was great, the execution was less good.
Yeah.
So
I've heard the AdMech models make a decent base for them.
yeah,
If you shave off all the
mechanical
fiddly
stuff.
bits.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I was tempted to use the 30k Imperial
Solar?
Guardsmen that came out. Yeah, but they're just a little bit ugly. The plastic ones. I like the resin ones, but the plastic ones just look a little bit too roboty.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love the diving helmet. I do not like the diving helmets.
No, it's just no. I like the welding masks of the flamer unit, but I don't think that's out yet. Like there's one in resin that has like a welding mask with like a neck. Yeah, it's fine. I think this went pretty well. I didn't expect this either. Like I was zoned out by that time already. I was like, fuck, here we go. And so that was probably the nail, the last nail in the coffin. This change here.
The Zangors are kind of like an interesting, I think, potential counter there, right? Because you can sort of screen out of the side here, and then if they move forward to get the easier charge, you just pull back.
Yeah. Well, you put them 1 inch away from the wall. And
yeah. But like they're screening 9 inches out, and if Ash doesn't want to miracle that, then Ephrael and Kaigen will have to move forward, and then you just get to extend the charge again. And I don't even think that Ephrael and Kaigen will kill the Zangor unit with Feel Not Pain baked in too.
To be honest, that was a blunder on my side for sure. I should be paying attention, but the reality is I was just banking on either Magnus lives or I can go watch a movie kind of thing.
Sure. We'll put it all on the line. Let's riverboat gamble.
Yeah, well, I don't think there was a way out of this game longer term, especially I think there were some pretty good secondary draws from Ash. Just the scoring was going well for her, which means that then the pressure on me is higher because I wasn't scoring that well either on secondaries.
You were I think slightly ahead, right? I guess that turn maybe not quite as good. Well, secure.
But you look,
and then
again, you need to kill a couple of things a turn in order to for the clap.
Well, maybe because like you also have bottom 5 scoring. So if Ash doesn't do anything and you're in parity on points, you just win on the bottom of 5.
I don't think bottom of 5 scoring ever happens here because we're both fighting really hard, I think. So
I think that like in theory yes, in practice, once that turn 1 happened, and I don't have the ability to interact with Ash's army without the clapback, without sacrificing my Umbrellific and all that. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a consideration you make on round 3 onwards. Yeah, I think in the game state, it looked to me anyway. The game state that was as the game state was. I think you both had the capacity to just stand and do nothing for a turn, and I think that puts the pressure on Ash to actually move forward.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, how I saw it was that you had more vehicles that are harder for me to kill because I've lost my sources of damage. So my Infernal Master with 2 damage is gone. I've lost most of my Cabal points. I've lost my double Doom Bolt. So actually, killing tanks is now a challenge.
Right.
It's-
Especially for Magnus. That man, he can't even kill a castigator.
Well, quite. With that rolling, Jesus. But that's the problem, right? So now you don't have the second source of damage to pick up another castigator. So now this all in, even if Magnus survives, it still works. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I think it was just you put this sorcerer behind the building here, and this game goes potentially completely different, to the point where maybe Ash doesn't even consider bringing the tank here, right? If there's nothing, if it's just Magnus and Demon Prince and whatever, it's like, yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
go for it.
My turn 1 play, if you had hidden him here, would be to drop the Immolator here. Like right behind here, block this section off, and drop the Dominions over here, and then shoot the Zango Shaman, and then just hop back in.
Yeah. And because it's behind the terrain, like you have to touch the terrain in order to see it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that scout move plus an auto advance plus a disembark seems a bit broken.
It is very
That's
good. It's problematic for armies with no infiltrators, right? And Thousand Suns just don't have the ability.
You don't have the ability to, and
didn't print it anyway.
You can. Yeah,
we need that Risen Rubrique back. Where's our Risen Rubrique?
Yeah. Well,
I think I have been quite vocal in the past that I believe every army should have access to infiltrators, simply for this reason.
Right.
But like, there's a reason I was so ecstatic when, like I think I mentioned on the stream before. My wish list for the Sisters Codex was 1 item long. It was
the Triumph of Saint Catherine generates infinite 6s on the Miracle Pole and gives plus 3 inches of movement to your whole army. Oh, okay. It was the Novitians. Okay.
Everything else was just gravy.
But it's
heaps of gravy.
Delicious gravy. Yum
I
yum.
just wish, we even if you had something to block here off, but because this deployment is skewed as well, because I think the normal deployment is a line like this, which makes it a lot easier to just park some cultists here and put your army here. So
it's farther back, right? It's 18 on hammer.
Yeah, I think so. It's a line. It's a horizontal line like this, which means that yes, you could still park your tank and do that, but at least you're not getting into my kitchen. Like you're still having.
Yeah, you can place models here. And that makes things much more if you scout.
Yeah, because now you can scout forward, so now you can put a line of idiots here, which is what the cultists are for.
Yeah, I don't know if I love the staggered deployment.
Roughly the straight line.
Yes, that's more or less that. Yeah, and then you just put them behind this terrain. Just put them like this. And go. Would you like to give me a CP? And probably the answer is no. Especially in turn 1, because that allows indirect plus range plus full rerolls.
Yeah, I would never. I would just ignore the cultists.
Yeah. But I think this little jolt here, plus the fact that the L is I measured it and it seemed 6 inches away, so it meant I couldn't get a cultist on there, which means I couldn't block. But it's not wide enough either, so the tank can come that way. And I don't know. I'm sure you can. There's 150 ways to skin this. The thing is, this maps, and I found this with all the maps 5 to 8, they seem to rely a lot on deployment. Compared to the more traditional ones that we had 1 through 4, you could play through the game. Here, if you deploy wrong, you lose.
I think 8 is less punishing on Tipping Point and Hammer and Anvil as compared to 7, but on Crucible it's super punishing.
Yeah,
because on 8 you've got this huge triangle of doom, where if you're standing anywhere here, you're not there's no cover anywhere.
Yeah, it's just wild. But it was good.
Yeah.
Good it.
Well, thanks for the game, you two. Obviously, congratulations to both of you for getting to this point. I'll be in touch to get you some prizes. And Ash, congratulations on being our season champion for the 2nd season.
Yeah, see, Trev, this is how you don't get T-Sons nerfed. You lose the last game.
There you go. X and 1. Yeah.
And then
Just showcase how hard it gets hurt if you get scouted in your deployments on turn 1.
yeah, quite yeah.
Well, cheers, you two. I'll let you go.
Well, at
Bye.
least you did. Well, on the bright side, you didn't eat 12 damage on Magnus turn 1.
And that's
Well, yeah.
that is a little bit better. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Always on the bright side. Yeah. Bye.
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 All right, folks, that's going to be it for us today. Thank you so much for
What's up, folks?
back to our
Welcome back to
pre-stream
the
here.
stream. We're live.
Thank you so much for everybody coming and hanging out with me throughout the T5S2 Invitational Season 8. Season 9 events are currently ongoing. If you want to play yourself, come visit over in the Discord server. Huge congratulations to all the players who qualified for the Invitational and who played through it. This season was super fun, and I think this Invitational is really interesting. A lot of huge changes right in front of the Invitational, which definitely sort of dramatically changed the meta game at this top echelon, but it was interesting to see the players kind of deal with that. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'm going to go ahead and drop off. I will be live tomorrow over on the Twitch channel, so if you want to come hang out with me over there, twitch.tv/TacticalTortoise, I will see you there. And otherwise, remember to keep it classy, folks, and as always, have happy wargaming.